Good morning, everybody. Salam alaikum. Ahlan wa salam. Bonjour to many of you, I think. Namaste. And from my tribe in New Zealand, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa, harimai, harimai, harimai. All the way down from the depths of New Zealand. My name is Kim Winter. I'm the Global CEO of Logistics Executive Recruitment and Consulting. We've been in the Gulf for the last 20 years or so. And in fact, I think Lucy, who's my recruitment manager, this hotel was one of the very first hotels ever in Dubai. And we were a great pleasure to come here for events 20 years ago. And here we are back again in the famous Raffles. So I want to welcome you on behalf of all of our organisers and sponsors and partners, starting of course with the famous Nazreen and Piero from Eny-Consulting. Thanks so much for organising this very unique event. And it sort of, I've got to say, feels like a bit of a family. Many of you I've known over the years. Good to see you again, many new faces as well. Of course, we have two major sponsors today. Savoir, Elaine, thanks so much for supporting this event the way that you have. Shipson, Hassan, Shukran, thanks so much for welcoming and supporting again for E&Y. And we have partners as well, of course, Yasmin from Raffles. Good to meet you this morning. Thanks so much for your support. Job Win-Win, Yasmin as well, of course. Inchcape, I think John is here from Inchcape to help us out today as well. And bringing us into this very unique and intimate environment for half a day or so, possibly stretch on a little bit longer than that, for the networking I'm sure that's already taking place, for an exchange of ideas, sharing knowledge, being able to discuss the relevant issues about the headline topic that we're all here to talk about today. And that's about exploring the impact, really, of technology and the way that technology intertwines itself with the human factor, and the way the human factor is often lost, I think, when technology comes in, especially if we're talking about AI and what have you these days. And we're going to explore a range of different elements of those discussions today. We have a fantastic, thanks again to Nazreen and Piero for putting a fantastic group of speakers and panelists together today. My job will be to keep you in order and keep the ball rolling and keep us rolling through so that we can get through the conversations efficiently, and then have a good Q&A session after each of the presentations and panel discussions, so that we can get through to lunch at about 1, possibly after 1 o'clock, for then a lunch and then further networking. Before we start, Piero has told me that we have a QR code up here, and do I need to push any buttons to get that QR code? Here we go, let's just see what we've got here. No, you better do it. I haven't had any practice with this yet. For a draw, so we want you to get your phones, please, and register for the QR code. And this is going to be to go into a draw for a prize of some sort during the day, which we'll announce later on. So if everybody can join there and register on the QR code, that would be brilliant. So again, technology, the human factor, we've got some really strong representation here. Many of you are senior executives, of course, in your own organisations. The human factor has never been so important across the industry sectors of supply chain, logistics, hospitality that we're talking about. Massive, massive challenges. Opportunities, yes, in this great city of Dubai, but massive, massive challenges as well of retaining, acquiring, and satisfying the needs of the talent that we need in our organisations. So without further ado, I am going to welcome Dr. Assam Al-Falasi, and he is from Mora Hub and Dewa, and he's going to talk about how technology elevates the human experience. Doctor is going to come up and join us. Thank you. So Dr. Assam is the Chief Information Officer, actually the Chief Contact Business Centre Officer for Moro Hub, part of DEWA. And he has a very esteemed career throughout the whole area of technology management, human resources, business process, and many other areas. So without further ado, I'll welcome Dr. Assam up to open us and set the scene for today. Thanks very much, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Assalamu First of all, since that we are still on the beginning of the year, I'm wishing to you a lovely, healthy, successful year, inshallah. At the same time, I would like to thank Eny for the invitations, and hopefully we're going to spend a quick 15 hours, and this 15 minutes, not 15 hours, okay? So within the 15 minutes, it will be memorized in your mind. Okay. Usually, just now I was having to your brochure, and mainly each entity is starting with, I don't know if my voice is, you can hear it? Okay. So usually, any entity is starting with vision, missions, objective, tactical goal, strategic goal, the thing which you see. But most of the time, vision is linked with the dream. Are you agree? Yes. Okay. And this is exactly what's happened with the AI. So let's see what's happened with the AI. In 1927, German produced a movie called Metropolis, and this is actually about one science or engineer. He created a robot, and this robot will take a control over the human. Imagine when? And I guess after 2 years from now, which is in 2026. But this is a movie. In 1941, the first calculating machine built by France. Since that all of you are French, so you have to be proud, because the first calculating machine built by France inventor. In 1950, Akan Turing, in his research paper, introduced a test as a way of testing a machine intelligence. It's actually about the software where you can feed it by image, and then after a while, you give it another image, which is not the same image which you give it before, and you see if it's recognized or not. In 1956, here is the first time where AI coming in the topic. I mean, the topic of AI come in the pictures. But the result from this conference, most of the governments invest in this technology, especially the US military. By 1965, ELISA natural language program is created. It's actually similar to the chatbot what we are using today. In 1997, IBM came with computer Deep Blue, which is beat world chess champion Kasparov. The people who's old, they know who's Kasparov. The one who's young, I'm young, so I don't remember who's Kasparov. Okay. If you noticed, from 1941 until 97, the performance of AI is slow. Why? Because the dependency on infrastructures. Just give you hints. In 1941, the computer is 60 hertz, while the smart devices which we use today is more than 3 billion hertz, which is mean we are talking about 100 million times faster than the first computers. And in the end, I'm going to show you quick video just to let you know what I mean by the performance. From 2000 until today, we saw a lot of innovations, applications built on the AI. For example, iRobot vacuum cleaner. This is most of the time used by girls or ladies or women. Google built a car to handle urban conditions. Siri, all of us, we see the Siri and use it all the time. Speech recognitions, a lot of application based on the speech recognition or face recognitions. Meta or Microsoft come up with a new AI supercomputer, AI research supercluster. It's actually having 22,000 graphic card. Each card is cost between $15,000 to $20,000. Chatbot, as we mentioned, there is again something calling today a trade GPT, where is actually just you buy a share and let the AI taking care about your shares. All of you are using Office 365. I'm sure all of you are using 365. Copilot as a product came from the Microsoft recently, and this is like a high level where you are controlling all your Office 365. For example, if you have a Word, this Word could be summarized, could be transferred to as a graphic, it could be sent it to as a slide. You can also build Power BI. Power BI is actually the interactive report. You can build the Power BI over that. So all of this will be through the Copilot. One thing which is the best application today is something called deepfake. All of you, I'm sure that you hear about it. Deepfake is actually changing our mindset, how we are thinking. So what is deepfake? Deepfake, very simple, a software where you can train on some video and then you can replace the pictures. A lot of cases happen. For example, Zelensky, which is the president of Ukraine, came with the fake video asking his military to surrender. Other case in Egypt, a teenager killed herself because of the fake video. So the question is now, does the court will take this kind of thing into consideration? So this is the way where we have to think. Now, I'm sure one of you will come, they will say, yes, but there is a platform like that. Intel fake catcher platform can recognize or detect if this is application is fake or not. The answer is true, but we are talking about percentage. We are talking about 96% here. So there is 4%. And this 4%, this is the door for the lawyer where they can enter and they can play with the law. So this is the thing where the AI let us actually shift our mindset. Before I go to other slide, I have just one question. Sometimes we are thinking about some product. And when we just open the social media and application, we saw the thing which the product where we are thinking is in front of us. How many of you have noticed that? Excellent. Your answer will lead us to the definition of the AI. So what is the AI? I will not go through all these definitions. It's actually the simulation of the human intelligence, which is mean three things. Just we have to remember it: learn, think, predict. This is actually which is the definition of the AI. And there is a stack, which is the deep learning, where it's actually linked with the algorithm. And then we have the machine learning, where we have the analysis. And then we have the second layer of the top layer, where the AI, which is the think layer. Let's take an example. We have one accountant guy. Let's say here, her name. Okay. He's responsible to collect all the invoices, and then all the bills, everything, gather all the information from the bill, inherit on the Excel sheet, and after that, end of the day, send it to his boss. Okay? So this, if it's 1 or 2 or 3, will be fine. But what about if it's 1,000 bill? Then, in this case, we are talking here about the percentage of a human mistake. So, ladies and gentlemen, here I'm actually talking about the operation excellence and create a greater business value. I'm talking here where we are talking about the supply chain, which is sustainable. I'm talking here about the cost pressure. I'm talking here about the hybrid work. All of us, we passed through the pandemic. We know this kind of pressure of hybrid work. I'm talking here about the employee expectations, what we are expecting. So all of that will be resolved by the talents. And in order to resolve this by talent, that means there is a lot of strategy should be built behind that. So we are talking again about aligning people, strategy, process, and technology in order to achieve the business goals. And the business goal is actually will deliver a great value for all the stakeholders. Again, why this is important? Because the business, or let's say like organization, performance gap is actually the gap or the impact people gap. This is the way how we are thinking today. Today, we have, if you ask me as a CEO, what do you need from Pierre? All of you, earlier, you'll say, the efficiency. Today, this word efficiency is not there. The thing as a CEO, what I need from here, I need what will be the impact on the people. Why? Today we have HR applications. Just name it. Attendance, KPI, I don't know all of that, all this kind of stuff. With the AI concept, there is another layer is coming, which is calling the business goals or the business layers, and give you a high view if your organization is actually reaching to the target or no. So this is the thing where I want you to think AI is enabler, yes, but it's actually changing our mindset, the way how we are thinking. Earlier thinking about efficiency, today we are thinking about people. Why? Because if we are achieving to the customer satisfactions, that means you're going to achieve to the financial revenue. That means you're going to achieve to the business goals. So coming back again to our examples, the solution here on AI, I'm sure that most of you, maybe you hear, calling RPA, which is robotic process automations. And mainly, there is two ways, by the way, to create a robot. Either will be physical or through the software. This technology or solutions through the software. So you can create a robot, software robot, and then assign action on it. Okay, and these actions will be collecting all the information inherited in the Excel, and then send it on the specific day, every day. By this way, we're gonna mitigate the risk of the risk of the human mistake, the performance. Again, we're gonna take care about the performance, and we're gonna achieve to customer satisfactions, and this will lead us to business goals. So RPA, most of the time, is actually used for repeatable, like high volume of repeatable tasks. And it's merged between two levels, as we say that in the stack, between machine learning and AI. As per Gardner, the leader on this technology, UiPath, Automation Anywhere, Blue Prism, and Microsoft. I'm surprised why I don't see Kofax between them. I will not take a lot from your time. I will start like a video, small video, to show you what I mean by the performance.
हेलो हेलो
हेलो
He is
कैसे हो?
1941.
कैसे हो कैसे हो
कैसे हो बाय बाय
बाय बाय बाय बाय
बाय बाय हेलो
And then I'm happy to draw the smile in your face. Hopefully the smile will continue all the year, with all my respect to the nationality. But this is the example just to show you the performance impact between 41 and today. Thank you again for having me. Thank you.
Good one. Thanks, Dr. Assam. Any questions from the floor about that great little presentation? Set the scene for us today. Any questions, comments?
If you don't have questions, I have one question.
You have a question of yourself. You want to ask the crowd?
No, I will ask them.
Very good. Okay, so
No questions? So I have just one question.
Way again.
My question is, in the beginning he was talking about the AI, and if the AI will take control on the human. My question is, do you think AI will take over, control the human?
So let's have any feedback, any comments.
Nasreen, she
No?
say no.
Who says so?
No, I say no.
Who say yes? Okay, why no? You say yes?
Who take over humans who don't use AI, who don't know how to use it.
Okay. I will correct your answer. His answer is the AI will create a new job.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'll add to that. Then can we have any feedback on any of you who believe there is in your sphere of, again, most of us in logistics, supply chain or related areas, any areas that you are seeing where AI is having a significant impact in your ecosystem? Any area in your value chain where we're seeing a really significant impact, or is it too early?
Warehousing.
Sorry?
Warehousing.
Warehousing. Yeah, and how is that, Sumit?
Inventorization, the understanding the consumer behavior, which is
Yep.
critical. I think AI would play an important role in understanding the consumer behavior in the entire supply chain dynamics, which is very important, and that would ultimately determine the course of demand and supply. When we talk about demand forecasting and all, so it would be a great tool for the analytics purpose.
Okay, so gaining information from the customer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
For insights.
Sumit, warehousing, how so?
Yeah, robotics and all that stuff will take over, and it's taking a huge chunk of business right now, and that's replacing. But it's also automating industry pretty fast.
Yep.
So I think that's a very positive sign of things when AI takes over the warehousing that space.
Sure.
That's one of the areas. And shipping as well, but shipping is yet to be there. So I think warehousing is something, and of course, I'm good. Thanks.
Okay.
Data analytics is the other thing where things are going to change right now.
Mm-hmm.
But the flip side is that, yes, it changes, but the human factor is still very essential.
Okay.
Because human factor needs to create. AI may create music, songs, and things, but still the creativity emphasis is very large on the human, so it's still there.
Okay.
But I hear that, I don't know, a couple of days, like on Tesla, if you remember, if you hear, the robot is kill the engineer, or just, I don't know, just hit the engineer. Do you hear this? I mean, on Tesla, there is a news, like last month, I think, like the robot is tried to kick or hit the engineer.
It is Salat.
No, Tesla.
Tesla. Oh, Tesla. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
So I don't know,
Yeah.
how can you confirm that? I'm just trying to challenge you. I'm with you. I'm just trying to challenge you.
Oh, I think we're in an extremely pivotal point right now with some of the challenges and opportunities around the world at the moment where we're seeing this huge impact. And I think I'm on LinkedIn about 6 hours a day of the 24-hour day. And it's, you know, what we're seeing, I think, is a lot about the concerns about how we control. How do we keep control before we lose control? And I think to a certain extent, I mean, the government here must be very much on top of this to say, you know, how do we maintain control of things so that we don't lose control of key areas of security, of safety, and things like this.
The main factor here is actually the security.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, just to end all of that and to give you the proof. The proof is why is not the AI will take control over the human, is actually in the definitions. And the definitions we say that is actually the AI is the simulations of the human intelligence. So that means we are talking about the human brain. Just for your information, the human brain is actually consists of 100 billion neurons. It's actually interconnected with 100 million synapses. Okay? And this is changed, dynamically changed between 10 to 100 times per second. In 2000, I remember 2012, IBM came with a computer, or call it Skoya, is having actually 1.5 million processors and 1,000 terabyte memory. Okay, or 1,000 terabyte memory. This is in order just to reach to the human brain performance. But what they found that is actually slower than a human brain by 1,500 times. And in order to achieve to this level, they need the power. This power, just for your information, for all your information, is actually the same power which is used for two states, which is New York and LA.
Amazing.
So this is just for information.
Simulate one human brain.
Sorry?
This is what-
Simulate
One human brain, exactly. If you have,
8 billion.
exactly, exactly.
I think just to finish off, again, LinkedIn, I think it was Elon Musk in recent days came out in an interview on one of the podcasts and was saying that, you know, one of the greatest challenges from all of the data, from all of the information that we're getting through AI, ChatGPT, everything else, such an overload that we're getting now, that one of the biggest challenges we face is actually getting sleep and resting that human brain so that it actually can process. And we've got an enormous amount of bad news out there geopolitically at the moment. And I think that a lot of people are actually suffering from an overload of information and not necessarily positive. And this is affecting in the way that we think and the circuits that you're talking about. So huge opportunities and challenges. Before you go, I think we're going to have a presentation, Piero, for the good doctor. You can come up, please, and come and join us up on the stage. Jump up. A presentation to thank you for.
And we step this way.
We step up here under the light. We get a couple of photos as well. Come up here. Make sure we're in the light.
Thank you.
Very good. A couple of photos. Okay. Getting here and the official photo as well.
Thank you.
Stay there, one more, just over here. Thanks, Doctor.
Thank you.
Very good. Shukran.
Thank you.
Very good. Well, look, thank you for setting the scene for us today. And today, what we'll do is set the rule also, folks. If we're on the Q&A, if you're going to speak, please your name and your organisation, just so we can share information about where we all come from. That'd be awesome, just so we get that level of engagement. Okay, so next presentation is going to be from Nazreen from Eny, and Nazreen's going to set the scene about building resilient supply chain supply chain workforces. And we've got a couple of slides as well. So Nazreen, known to everybody, again, a round of applause for the organisers, Eny. Thanks so much for joining us. And again, if you want to get on the prize, if you haven't got that hashtag, then you can see Piero, and he'll make sure he's got it on his phone, or he can put it up here again a little bit later. But Nazreen, please enlighten us, give us a bit of a heads up, and a couple of presentations from you.
Thank you, Kim.
Shukran.
Is it working? Can you hear me?
Yep, perfect.
Okay. Thank you very much. Here we go. Working. Wow. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being present, showing all our sponsors and friends and family. And thank you, Yasmin, for having us here in Raffles, beautiful historical place in Dubai. So thank you very much, Yasmin. You played a huge role. And thank you for all of you for showing up, the people who we know, who we don't know, but we will get to know today. So how much we love supply chain. We love supply chain, the technicality, the method, the processes, etc. But what we believe is in all the evolution, what is happening, especially in our country in UAE, everything is going so fast, we don't want to forget people. And when I worked in a corporate world, or when we go to customers, the element we see always forgotten or mishandled is people. So we said, you know what, let's talk about people this time. And it's January, so hopefully it will give, information or it will give you points to think of or work on for the rest of the year. So how do we build a resilient supply chain workforce? Actually, you can transpose it to anything. It can be marketing, it can be sales. I believe it can be transposed. I call it supply chain workforce because I'm a supply chain geek, so that's what I know. I'm not a marketing or finance person, but I believe it can be transposed. So I want to show you this, okay? It's not that old picture, but that was my team in Chaloup, okay? That's the team I built after 2 years of hard work. I want to show you because I want to tell you I was in your shoes. I was there. I worked with corporate for 18 years, so before I became an entrepreneur. So the effort that it takes to build a team, to keep it on toes, it's very, 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 very hard. And I learned from one of my bosses that 50% of my job as a manager is to take care of my team. Take care of my team. And 50% is to listen to him, listen to my boss, and see if the vision is changing. So my job as a manager or chief supply chain officer is not to do the work operationally. I recruited a team to do that. I need to take care of my team, take care of them in terms of what we will see in few slides, and keep them motivated, keep them happy every day when they come to work, okay? And supply chain is not an easy work, and nothing is easy anyway, but supply chain is tough because it's tough, but in the same time, it's beautiful because there is no routine, you know, every day is changing, every day is challenging. Here a boat is not going through, here flights on coronavirus and this, so yeah, it keeps us on our toes. So just to tell you, before I got to this result, I had 26 people when I entered Chalhoub. I had 26 people in my team across the whole region. Guess what? None of them was coming from supply chain. Zero. So I had to assess everyone to see who at least likes it, you know. So I had to keep the people who were motivated, likes it, to train them, coach them, and then I had to transform or transfer competency to other people. Some people told me, I love finance, but I'm here because I have no choice. Then we'll take you to finance, you know. So I helped the people, and then some people I had to let go because it didn't match at all. So before I got to this point, so here you will see head of sections, you will see also interns. It was never happening before, so I got interns, etc. But it was really hard to get to this point. And also, as a manager, we'll talk about it, you always recruit for succession. So what is important in, to build a resilient team, in my case, a resilient supply chain team? What I understood across the year, and there is one company who made me understand that very, very, very strongly, is General Mills, one of the top companies in the world, and they have very strong core values. And I promise you, we were seeing it every day, every single day. It was every month in the P&L, etc. We had to express everything through the core values. Then I understood, wow, that's what brings us together. And with time, I noticed that if we don't have core values, then why are we here? Okay, make money. But really, and this is where you see that people are really amazing. Yes, they come for a salary. Yes, they come for a top line. But I promise you, the one reason they come is because they want to work with people they like. They want to feel recognized. They want to give the best of themselves. They want to feel encouraged. So please, if you have core values, repeat them. Really, it's very important. Repeat them to your teams. Make them live the core values for them to live them and adopt them every single day. Even your presentation of P&L should be based on the core values. Even the appraisals should have core values in it. Everything. That's how you build your community, and that's how you build a strong team. Also, the other thing is clear communication. As you see, all the social media today, you cannot fake, you cannot hide anymore, you cannot play, oh, you know, I'm the boss. It's very difficult. And the millennials, they are taking less and less this. So be clear in your communication. When you start the year, first of all, I hope you build your budget with your team, bottom up, and then when you start the year, present the vision and the strategy. Let them do it. Let your team take responsibility and be very clear on how you communicate. And whatever you get as feedback from your team, give it to your boss. And you know what? Put them in the same room. Give feedback around the table. So I think it's very important because we really forget that we need to communicate super clearly with our team. You cannot hide any more things. You cannot. And today, it's a lack of respect when you don't trust your team to understand something. And don't forget, you recruited them. So trust them. Clear communication, okay? And care What I mean by care is, as I said, is probably the word that I love the much. We must care about our team, like our family, like our, yes, we are here to do a job. Yes, there will be KPIs. Yes, I will measure you. Yes, I will see if you perform. If you don't perform, thank you very much, okay? I'm not here to play. Absolutely, but I care about you. What do you need to perform? What, do you need a training? Do you need to, something is bothering you? I am listening to you. I want to know what's bothering you. And if I can resolve it, good. If not, then let's find a solution. And the best way, you know, my father used to tell me, you need to know how to meet people, but you need to know how to split with people. Splitting with people, splitting with your boss is very important. Don't leave angry, and don't let your team leave angry. Always, because you don't know what's going on. Things are going so fast. This might be your customer or your suppliers in the future, okay? So please take care of your team, and because what comes around goes around, you never know. So live in a good relationship. And I really like this tree because it has the keywords, and the tree is always a very good symbol of roots and development and fruit and, you know, giving back and its cycle of life. So that's why I chose that. So today, honestly, yes, we want to talk about the human in supply chain and how do we transform, how is it transformed with all the technology and the AI. And earlier, Sam, you said that do we have, and Kim, how do we have an impact? Today we see it, for example, as simple as when we go from Excel to a system. It is automation. We are automation. So some teams, for example, purchase coordinator, data entry, these jobs are disappearing. They will not be there anymore, okay? So how do we transform these people? How do we make them upscale, and how do we make them, you know, grow within the team and give them a chance to learn better and actually ease their life? So if there is one slide I want you to remember, please, today is this one. So what to start doing today and what to stop doing. Our goal today is not only to inspire you, but to give you things that you can work on from today, from tomorrow, with your own teams. So what I would love all of us to start doing is to choose competency. I know it's tough. I know we have a budget. I've been there. I know. But you know what? I'd rather choose one excellent demand planner and pay him 25,000 dirham per month than employing 3 average people, 5,000, 6,000 dirham. And I know they will slow me down and they will make me work even harder. I don't want that. I want a team that relieve me from operations, not put me in operations, right? So please choose competency always. Choose the competency always, because it will pay off, guarantee. On the other hand, stop recruiting cheap, please. You're not helping the people, you're not helping yourself. You're really making yourself working harder. And the people who just recruit for anything, you're not helping them, developing them. Because in 6 months, you will not be happy, you will fire them. See? So don't recruit cheap. And because of that, you're actually helping them, because they will say, am I missing a skill? Am I missing something? Let me learn. And then you help them indirectly. So please stop cheap recruitment. Continuous assessment and evaluation. What does it mean? Yes, we have the appraisal once a year, but then what? See you next year? No. So we need to continuously, at least once every 3 months. I know it's hard. I know, the months flies, but once a month, put it in your calendar, 30 minutes with each member of your team to sit and say, okay, where are you on your goals, on your KPIs? Are you okay? Is everything okay? You know what? Even if the person is not okay, he or she will be happy because you just care about them and you ask them. And you'd rather know earlier than later at the end of the year when the bubble explodes. So continuous assessment. And then you have a lot of online tools that can help you assess the people psychologically, technically, etc. Okay? You have a lot of HR companies who does that. supply chain companies like us or others that can help you with that. Logistics executive does that too. So I know you will say, hey, Ms. Wynne, you're here to talk about supply chain. But trust me, if we don't have a great HR team, nothing will work. And that's why we want to, we've seen it so much, and we are seeing it every day, that if the HR team is weak, the whole people organization is wrong. So invest in your HR team, get a great HR talent people. These people will help each functionality, finance, supply chain, etc. Okay? So invest in HR team. Also, what I wanted to say here is evaluate without KPIs. Stop evaluating without KPIs and goals. It means, how was work? Good. Did you achieve your target? Yeah, I made sales. Okay, good. Here is your bonus. No. Stop evaluating with emotion. Stop evaluating with no fairness. It has to be fair. And to be fair, measure it. Make it smart. So without KPIs and goals, stop doing that. You're hurting the whole team. You're hurting your company. And you know what? You're losing much more money than what you think by doing that. And also, management by fear means when there is one-man show. In the region, we see that a lot. When there is one-man show, it's a management by fear. The whole team is just abiding to one guy or two, and that's not good. What will happen is comfortable people will sit tight, and talent will leave. That's what will happen. So you will end up with a bag of execute task doers, and the good people will leave. They will not stay with you, no way, okay? So invest in HR and measure the people fairly. Encourage creativity and trial and failure. Today, you have this is now the culture. Try it, try this, try, if it doesn't work, etc. And don't forget that the millennials today, they all at least have Shopify, they are doing some money on Amazon, and this, and so you're not the only resource of income for them, not anymore, this is finished. Today, people have much more than their salary as a resource. So how do you keep these intelligent people with you, right? So encourage creativity, let them create. Why they will work for Shopify or Amazon? Let them create for you. Let them create something Amazon for you, a t-shirt for the team or something. So bring them inside the team and give them space and facility to try, and even if they fail, that's okay. Fail with me, okay? Don't fail somewhere else. So you want that, and you want to encourage that. How can you start this tomorrow? Go to your team, yeah? Tell them, give me an ID. Let's meet Sunday, I'm still in Sunday. Let's meet Monday, and each one of you presents an ID of innovation or whatever you want for this year. And then we will vote, and then let's apply one. That's it. That's as easy. Just take time to do it. Stagnation in position, what does it mean? It means if someone stays in a position, and let me push it, more than 5 years, that's not normal. Whether it's you or your team, that's not normal. It means someone did something wrong, or your boss recruited you wrongly, or you recruited wrongly your team, okay, or both. So you need to evolve. Whenever you recruit someone thinking in 2 years what this person will be. In 3 years, who is my successor? In my team, who should take over? Usually, me personally, I used to have 2 in case one leaves. So at least I have a backup. So always have 2 people that might take over. And my plan was always, I will not stay more than 3 years in a position. If you think I should stay more than 3 years, then you're too comfortable. That's not healthy. That's not good for you, okay? So we need to move, and to move, we need to challenge ourselves and learn. So stagnation is not good, is not healthy. This is not right for people, not right for talent. They feel pushed down. They will never evolve, so they will go to exit. Careful. And working hard doesn't mean it's the goal. The goal is not to work hard, it's to work smart. You heard that probably, smart, right? So yes, it's true. Work hard, play hard. Yes, give them space to breathe. give them space to create, etc. They are not machines, right? But what you can do is digitalize, is to bring machines to help them. Like Essam was saying earlier, what we want is to make a healthier life at work and use brain power. Exactly. We did not prepare that together. I promise you, he prepared this, some prepared on his own and my own. But this is the truth, is that if we want to use efficiently our teams, I don't need 5 people. Probably I need 1 or 2. But because I use them the right way, the fair way, the correct way, they will give amazing things. We are I believe we are really far from being exhausted as a human being, and that's why I believe in the human being. So please digitalize. Don't be scared. Start tomorrow. There are so many tools that we have available. Start even in any place, in procurement, in demand planning, in the warehouse. Start even in the warehouse if you're afraid of jumping. Start with a little corner, of the warehouse. And then you will see, oh man, that makes my team life so much easier. Less back pain, less this, less that. And you will see, people will be happier. Reducing headcounts, I know, right? Implement this tool and reduce 5 people. Usually it's automatic. So I know that we have to, but let's take a step back. If you reduce a lot of headcounts, what does it mean? It means we didn't recruit the right way. We recruited the wrong way, right? So always think, before you reduce people, why am I at this position? And before you reduce them, what can I do with them first? Can I transfer them to another department? Can they grow within the team? Or really, really, they are not performant and they have very bad behavior, which I think is worse than performance. Very bad behavior, and then I have to let them go. In that case, yes. But if you recruited a data entry and you want to let go of data entry because you're digitalizing, that's not right. That's not right, okay? So instead of reducing that data entry, help that data entry to grow and have a better job, because you wanted that person to do that at the first place, okay? So help the person to grow. So that's really this slide. Take a picture of it, whatever, write down, but try to apply as much as you can, even if one thing tomorrow with your teams, okay? And the red is stop. Let's stop doing these things. So we were born in 2019, Eny-Consulting, and from day one, with my brother, with my husband, we thought we will always put people first, even no matter how small we are. We love our teams. We don't have a hierarchy. We work all hard together, and we hope to keep it. We hope that even if we grow and we are successful, we want to keep these values. And when we recruit based on our values. Yes, it sounds, oh, who do you think you are? Yeah, we want to be the image that we want to give. And we live as per values, and we work as per values. And we want our consultant to be the mirror of that. If not, we cannot work together. So what I'm preaching you is really what we apply in our company. We truly believe in the people. If we don't have the right people, even the best process, best system will not work, okay? So please bet on people first. And with the right talent, anything is possible. Thank you very much.
Merci.
Yeah, so.
Merci, Nizreen. Always a ray of sunshine, bright ideas.
I talk too much.
Many ideas.
No.
No, you don't. I'm looking around. Where's all her notes? Is there a screen around here somewhere? Picture perfect. Fantastic presentation. Got us all engaged and got us all enthused and energized. So thanks so much for that as we charge into the day. Q&A, a quick Q&A. We've got some real talent coming up here as well in this section before we have break for morning tea. Any questions? Any comments down here? Yes, and we've got a microphone. Yep. So we've got here a multi-purpose runner and engineer and lights and audio person over here. Sorry, I don't know his name.
Hi, Nizreen.
Name and company.
My name is Said. I'm working for Nokia in procurement and supply chain. And thank you for this brilliant presentation. I totally agree in terms of the values we need to drive and people as well. Question regarding the headcount reduction. You highlighted that we should not go through that. How do you manage when you are, business is cyclic. Sometimes we're in the ups, we need more people, we need to cater for the business requirement from our clients, and we need really to cater for that. We need to be present for them. So then we hire people also to be able to deliver to our clients. Then when downturns come, business is less profitable. So how do you manage this time when your overheads is growing, revenue is not there, you might even financially be into more this negative. So how can you manage to ensure that you don't get into this negative spiral of headcount reduction while being into the downturn, business downturn?
Thank you for the question. And honestly, when I was preparing, hello? Oh. When I was preparing, I knew that last point, reducing headcounts, will make some. So I'm not saying let's not let go. I did many times. I was let go also in the past, so I understand that, All I'm saying is, when you want to build a resilient team, you want to plan ahead. So you're not recruiting to let go in 6 months. You're recruiting to keep average 3 years, right? 3 years, 5 years. So with that in mind, when the reducing headcounts come, when something is really, really bad happening, then they will not be the first one on the line, because you need them, you need your team. So yes, of course, if the business is going down, yeah, we have no choice. I mean, the best you can do is, if it gets better, I'll call you back, and that's it. I mean, what can you do? Of course, absolutely. All I'm saying is, it shouldn't be automatic. It shouldn't be, because I'm digitalizing, I will let go 5 people. It shouldn't be an excuse. That's what I'm saying. So before knowing how am I getting rid of these people, I need to know why did I recruit them, and now what I'm going to do with them. We are living this example right now with the customer, and we said 7 months ago that the sales team was oversized. We told, and we said, stop recruiting. This is really way too much for what you're doing. And we are supply chain, but because supply chain is, we serve the sales, right? And we serve the customer. So we said, there is too many people in the sales team. So please, at least stop, freeze it. And now, 7 months later, the customer says, yeah, you're right. Can you freeze? Can you help us freeze? Yeah, I said, yeah, we will. But honestly, this is very, very difficult, especially when the company is earning money. Making money is so difficult to resonate them. So hard. It's so hard to make them think about cost. But once they hit the iceberg, then where can I cut? So what we say is just try to think ahead. And one of the heads is the supply chain. Supply chain is here to be proactive, and finance also. So let's be proactive. Let's think and say, you know what? I'm recruiting you for the next 5 years. So you will transform in these 5 years. I'm not recruiting you just for the next 6 months and let you go. It's not a full answer, but yes, we should let go people, basically, when we need to, but it shouldn't be automatic. That's my point. Yeah.
Good question and a very good answer.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. I think just to add to that, Nazreen, as well, I mean, when I started our recruitment business 25 years ago, I was in Sydney, and then up here 20 years ago, the average time for somebody in a job was probably 5, and in my case, as a baby boomer, back in the 70s and 80s, it was 10 years plus. The expectation of a lot of the folks that we hire, in our case recruit for other companies, is that, the generations we have now have expectations of changing jobs often in a year or two. It's sometimes not even that, and a lot of more jobs are hybrid in their contracts, so the fluidity of employment is a much more realistic thing these days. And just to add in, one of the biggest parts of our business at the moment is actually our placement. is companies mainly tier ones, coming to us and saying, listen, we're going to, that cycle has come down, we're going to need to go a group of people, we want you to help them find other jobs as well. So there's that whole cyclical area that you were talking about. Any other quick questions before we get on to the, yes, Alain?
First, good presentation, very insightful. So, especially the slide with the plus and the minus. I took some notes. I will go back to the tree of value that you showed at the beginning. So, it's something which is really, really interesting and nice. But how you think we can, I believe, make the middle management or the top management really adopting these core values and live these core values and transfer it to the teams? Not being only in a nice marketing slide that we show it on the presentation of the company. So how we can make the organization live really the core values?
You know, I lived it. I promise you, I never seen a stronger HR. I have goosebumps now, a strongest HR human resource department in my life than in General Mills. Number one is people. They taught me what is a manager. And the strongest department is human resource. I never paid attention before beside for recruitment. And then I knew every single day. So number one, check your HR team if you have the right people. If not, recruit the right people. Number one, I would do that. Second, because you're the head of the company, right? So number one, HR people. If you don't have HR people and you have a small team like we have, etc., so you or the whole team organize probably regular meetings, maybe first weekly meetings, huddle, or morning huddle, 5 minutes. I used to do that when I was in manufacturing. 5 minutes huddle, standing up, and just put the core values on the screen. That's it. But repeat. We human beings, we need repetition. It's like I will go to the gym today, and then so we need repetition, we need encouragement. Just repeat. Yes, you will get tired of it, but that's okay. That's your job. You're a boss, you're a manager. We're here to repeat every single day that your values is 1, 2, 3. Do meetings maybe once a month, tea, coffee, restaurant, something. I know we are so busy, I know that, but take time to do that. The more you take time to do that, the more togetherness you will have. If you let it go, people will forget you and forget who we are, etc. Take time to do that. And if you have an HR department, demand to have events. Demand them to have events. Demand them that you want to have every 3 months an assessment with your team. You want to have a sitting with your team. You want to have 2 days or 1 day in a hotel and have a training or something. Give them value. Give your team value and repeat daily. If you don't have it, from tomorrow, print your core values and put it in the office. As simple as that. They need to see it every single day. That's how much it shocked me positively at General Mills. I lived it, and I swear they transformed me. I changed completely after GM.
All good? Okay. Fantastic.
Thank you.
So thanks, Nasreen.
Thank you.
You're part of the family, so you don't get a trophy, okay? You get a trophy later.
No, I got the man.
Okay. You got the guy who gives the trophy.
I got the guys.
Okay. But Yusuf is going to be joining us to hand out trophies to the other folks who are coming up to present. Okay, moving right along. Alain, savoir. Transforming warehouses, empowering the human factor in the age of automation. So good job. Come and join us. Again, just a quick segue note then. How many people here have found that they think that there's an upswing in employment in your organisation at the moment? Any hands? I'm going to go through 3 options here. So upswing, stable, or downturn in the cycle. So anybody seeing an upswing in employment? Okay, hands. Yeah, a few there, right. Stable, not a lot of employment. stable, not a lot of employment. Yeah, majority, I think. And then downswing, what we call right sizing, downsizing, right sizing, down in the cycle. Okay, interesting. Thanks so much. Alain.
Good.
Shukran.
Can you test? Yeah.
Yep.
So thank you so much, Eny, for this great event this morning. And I'm very happy to join you today and take you back a bit to the technology side that you touched base on it in the morning. I think half of my presentation was somehow covered. I will not try to repeat the messages, but it's not easy for us, right? We talk about robotics. We implement automation inside the warehouse. These are two words, robotics and the human. What is the impact of the robot on the human? We know that automation, or this is what we perceive it, eliminates jobs. So it's not it's a tough topic for us. Usually we ask to talk about the importance of automation, the added value of automation. So seeing the human factor in transforming warehouse, it's a great topic, and thank you, Nisreen and Eny team to allow us to tackle it in this way. So to start, I will take some statements. Maybe you know, maybe not, but 60% of the time is walking inside the warehouse for an operator. So 60% of his time is about walking. Robotic automation, what does it mean? It's eliminate the repetitive tasks or replaces the repetitive tasks inside the warehouse. Automation perceived to eliminate jobs, right? Automation is complex to implement, and you see a touch base about scary sometimes to go through these transformation projects. So where and how the empowering of automation, of a human take place in this kind of transforming projects. So today I will take you through this topic of empowering the human factor in the age of automation inside the warehouse. I will not go to the AI level today. I will stay into the automation, machine learning. We have seen the 3 circles before. But yes, AI is also entering this domain, this market, the automation and the warehousing market. But I would just focus on the automation itself today and the impact on the human factor. To start with, maybe you know Savoir, we are a provider of software solution and automation solution for supply chain and logistics. Quickly, we are globally present and locally present to serve our local market in the GCC region. When you talk about automation, I took these kind of videos just to show you what does mean automation inside the warehouse. Automation inside the warehouse can be in different shapes, can be in different also levels. We have automation which go very high, up to 20 meters. We have automation in the middle, the robotic one, very, I would say, the word sexy, because this is the era of robotic inside the warehouses. We have robots moving. It's very modular. It's very scalable. And we have also other side of the automation, not only the storage and the picking. We have also the automation which replace the packing. So many processes within the warehouse can be automated. So there is no one answer of automation to the customer need. So said that, or seeing these kind of machines, yeah, it looks complex. How can I implement it in my manual warehouse? I'm using traditional racking since 20 years. How will I transform my warehouse? How I will shift my operation in the current running operation or in live operation? So in our opinion, the machines are there since many years. They are proven. They are existing technologies. Complex automation project is about people. This is how we believe. From day one, the automation project is not about bringing a machine or buying a machine and just install it in a warehouse. It's about sitting with you, customers, together, hearing your challenges, hearing your concerns, thinking about the solution together from day one. But then into the project, so it's not yet finished, the human impact or the human intervention here. We need to know how to install the project, help you to transform and shifting your current operation to automated operation, having the right project team, interacting with your operation team to install these machines or smart machines inside the warehouse. And the factory, because at the end of the day, automation is not about, if I compare it to the car normally you go, you choose the car and you have it. It's not custom-made. You can customize, of course, but the majority of the car are quite identical worldwide. You just buy the car that you like. In automation, no, we build somehow the automation to your need, or the solution to your need. The machine will be the same, but the solution, the configuration is based to every customer need. So it's unique. We have to be present with you to make it adapted to your need. And last but not the least, automation is not a machine that you run it and that's it. We need to maintain it. We need to check it's working well, like a health check when you go to the doctor. So we are the doctor of automation. We come regularly to see the machines. We can also react 24/7. So all these possibilities to implement a complex automation cannot be done without having the right human factor inside the equation. And when we talk about automation and the people, we talk also about the values. We are talking about the values since this morning. The values that we believe are needed first is the trust, because we have to trust each other. I need to trust you, Mr. Customer, and you need to trust my team that they can really deliver this project for you. We are not talking about projects which start in a small discussion and takes 1 year to design and also define how we want to implement it, and another year to implement it sometime, if not 2 years. Some projects can go 5 years. So it's really a long-last relationship between people, and we don't like turnover in our industry a lot because of a project of 5 years. You don't want to see different faces. And then the partnership between the organization. When we automate, we are also building a relation with the customer, long-lasting relation. The customers comes back to us, but also, as we said, we are implementing systems which takes 10, 20, 50, 30 years of lifetime. So we have to be partnered with the customers. And of course, we should have the right knowledge and expertise to design the right solution, to design also the right processes within the warehouse. Honesty is very important in our industry because customers come to us, they want to automate, they want to invest, but we don't want also to invest in the machine taking dust inside the warehouse. So sometimes we are the bad cop in the meeting telling the customer it doesn't make sense to invest in automation because the worst case is to have the wrong solution, not to have a solution. And of course, the capability to deliver a project is also important. So having the right people, the right values, okay, help us delivering the right solution to the customer. So we are people business, even though we sell robots and automation. So on your side, customers, so transforming projects or warehouse automation projects, what is the impact on your workforce? Because we as I mentioned at the beginning, it's perceived that automation eliminates a job or replaces jobs. So first, before going into this question, how we can select the automation, or how, what the automation, or how the automation interact with the human being. So it's important to have automation where the ergonomy is the core of it. Because at the end of the day, even we are talking about it this morning, even AI doesn't, it's to serve the people, it's to replace, could be other processes or improve processes, but it's about the human being. So within the warehouse, the automation that you would like to implement has to have certain level of ergonomy because it's very important to enhance the quality of jobs, so and the quality of the operator within. So not the quality of the operator, the quality of work for the operator. So having ergonomic stations where we have less fatigue, less lifting, you have good posture of the back, of the neck, of the shoulders, less joint pain. So these are important elements that when we design automation, it's not only to think about performance. Performance has to come automatically with automation, but also making sure you are designing it so that your people can enjoy and really be able to focus all the day using these machines. So keep in mind the ergonomy of the automation that you are using as well. Now going deeper to an example, I thought let me go to the main question of automation, the impact on your workforce inside the warehouse. So I took an example of project we are working on, like this e-commerce project, 500 orders per day. We have two illustrations showing a robotic warehouse. So it's replacing a manual mezzanine by an automated robotic solution. And so I said, let's go deeper into the impact on your operator and the workforce inside the warehouse. At the first, The receiving inside the warehouse, I'll go a bit technical. For this kind of operation, you require 2 people, even if you are automating or not. So they are equivalent in terms of manpower requirement. If I go deeper into the automation, the replenishment inside the machines or inside the shelving, in the automation, you would need only maybe 2 operators. Here you start to see the impact on the manpower needed. In the manual, you need 6 operators. Why? In automation, the robots, the red one that you see, assist in the replenishment. If I go further to the picking, here the gap become bigger. 3 operators in terms of automation versus 12 for the manual, because the walking time I spoke about is no more existing here. The machine are assisting the operator in doing more efficient picking as well. Packing, even much more better. 0 FTEs required compared to 6 in terms of manual, because when you do the picking, thanks God, the automation is helping me to do the pick and pack at the same time. Okay, going after to the similar processes, the staging and shipping will be equivalent in both cases, like 2 people required for staging and 2 for shipping. So all in all, I have a saving. I would be the bad guy. He's saying maybe the firing of 19 people. Some people perceive it like this. I'm just playing the role here. Huh? But this is a good financial equation, because I have ROI of 3 to 5 years. So I can do money by implementing automation in this case. So yeah, we are saving maybe manpower. But is it really the case? Are we really eliminating job? So I would maybe touch base on what you mentioned, Nisreen. We don't think so, because it's smart warehousing or automation helps companies generating more revenue and shifting the hiring needs from unskilled or unwanted job, if I may say, the hard jobs inside the warehouse, to more attractive and higher added value jobs. How we do it, how will be this impact? Because it's not natural impact. It's not a direct relation between hiring and automating. So the formatting is a bit small, but anyway, I will read through it a little bit. So yeah, automation, as we said, eliminate the repetitive tasks and repetitive and low-value tasks. This is very important. The tasks that people doesn't want nowadays doing them. Lifting, walking, picking, which is having some body pain activities. So this is what automation is doing nowadays. And this also reduces the exposure, as we said, to the fatigue of the people. And naturally, it will upskill your team, because your team using automation, I'm using a screen, I'm using a software, I'm using technology, I'm interfacing with a machine. So it's not like going to a manual traditional shelf and doing my picking. So there is know-how of technology needed to operate these warehouses. So the people within the warehouse, they would naturally like to come to the work. And we have seen it in these kind of transforming projects, where the operators are enjoying going to the warehouse. And they are even very proud of it, because they're using robots. Not everyone is doing it. They are going, speaking to it to their friends. We are having a robotic warehouse. So they are very proud of it. And when we generate savings of OPEX, because when we are reducing the needed manpower for, I would say, the needed non-skilled manpower, naturally the company can generate a budget for their OPEX to hire in value-added positions. We can change or help the people to do maybe sales agent representatives. Can be also hiring technicians to take care of the automation, hiring IT experts, because when you are having technology, you need people to support these technologies within the warehouse. We can shift people to do customer service, having a 24/7, like in Dubai, having 24/7 customer call center is very beneficial to the brand to say, I care about my customers. So you can shift and hire people in different departments, which will help you generating more volume, more sales, more business, more transactions, and then go back to the circle of automating, eliminating the unwanted jobs, and having more added value jobs. So there is no equation of one-to-one. This is, I would not dare to say, if we remove 19, we hire 19. Maybe this is a philosophical question, but I would say it's not only eliminating, it creates value. And as Nisreen mentioned before, having 3 demand planner versus 1 excellent demand planner is also something that we are also seeking. Here in your warehouse, you will have the skilled manpower here to come and stay with you for a long period of time, and you are giving them value to what they are doing, and they can grow with you. So this is was I had one more slide, but anyway, I will do the conclusion. So at the end, to conclude and summarize, business is very important, but we believe that collective success is what matters more. So therefore, any transformation project or any automation project to be profitable, okay, has to count on the empowering of the human factor. This is how we believe in it, and this is how we also perceive it in our company. Thank you.
Merci, Alain. Thanks so much for that bright, sharp, short presentation. Some very impactful points. We'll have a quick Q&A after each of the last couple of speakers, next couple of speakers. Any questions, any comments, any inquiries? Of course, we're going to a break, so we'll be able to shortly. So we'll be able to talk to Alain then. Everybody happy? Okay. Now, Yusuf going to give an award, a presentation. Where's Yusuf? No? No? Do you want to get a trophy now, or you want to get it later? You want to give it now, or you want to give it later? After everybody together.
Yes. Good.
Merci.
At least there is a trophy, so it's good.
Can I just add one thing before we go to...
You got a question.
The reason why I advocate and love automation, and really it's not because Alain is a good friend, no, this is regardless that, is because it helps people work better. And I worked in manufacturing for 5 years in automotive industry, and every time we try to avoid people bending, we try to avoid people turning too much, we try to avoid women and men work differently in the shipping expedition place, cartons, heavy lifting. So anything that we can automate, not only for the brain, but for the physical part, is helpful for our team. So that's why, for me, automation is really a big part of supply chain. To make a supply chain, your supply chain team work healthier and better. And warehouse is a tough one. And honestly, it was really beautiful warehouse to see the cartons flying like this. It's like music. It's like an orchestra. So thank you for this presentation.
And I would add, maybe as Isam mentioned before, I'm not sure if it's a real information or a rumor. I have read an article like 40% of Amazon workers in a warehouse, I'm not sure in USA, I'm not sure if it is global or one dedicated one, are suffering from body pain. And they're really complaining, 40%. It's a huge value. So well, this is due to these kind of bending activities, heavy lifting, turning. The joints are not used to have these repetitive tasks all over the day and for years as well.
Yeah,
Good.
very interesting. Fantastic.
Good.
Merci.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so our next presenter, one more after you, Yasmin. So Yasmin from here, one of our hosts from the Raffles Hotel here, HR, and also from Job Win-Win, going to come up and talk to us about the future of recruiting and navigating that future, and some ideas for us to think about and discuss here. So we look forward to seeing Jasmine coming up and joining us. Should be able to hold on to that. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Good morning, everyone. Do you hear me? Yeah?
Yep.
So, welcome to Raffles Dubai. I'm very happy to see you today. And before we start, I would like to thank Srin, Piero, and John for organizing this event. And I would also like to thank our team here, banquet team, culinary team, and engineering team. Thank you. So, because I've heard so many important messages that strongly resonates with me, I would like to ask today, Priyan, can you come, please? Take a mic if you have. Yeah, for you. So, I would like to ask Priyan, because he's working here with us. So, Priyan, it's a surprise, you see? Priyan. because you talked about a very important topic. So you said you talked about the HR, okay, and that you have to choose your HR and to ask about their different events, what do they do for their colleagues. So Priyan, you started few months ago. Yeah, here. Can you give us your feedback about the environment, about the HR team, about the events?
HR team
And
and
yeah. Not about me, about how you feel here.
no, this all are working as a team.
Yes.
Yeah, when they come here, the senior guys help me.
Senior guys, management.
Yes, management help me. So our engineering department also.
Engineering department, your leaders.
Yes.
Your work environment.
Yeah, show me the surrounding, how to work here and operation. So
you like it?
Yes.
And this is why you're still here?
Yes.
Okay. Luckily, he's still with us. So it was not a question to embarrass him, but just to say that this is what I'm looking for, and this is why I'm here. So I'm Yasmin, Director of Talent and Culture here in Dubai, and also founder of Job Win-Win. So when Piero called me to ask me if I was interested to organize an event to talk about the human factor in the supply chain, I immediately said yes. So I think that we all here acknowledge that technological advancements have a strong impact on the business growth of the company, and that we should adapt and also embrace new ways of working. But the business growth of a company cannot happen without its workforce. And this is what I've realized many years ago, early in my when I started my career. So I started my career 20 years ago, and exactly on 29 January 2004. So before I was working as a data scientist in a mid-sized company in Paris. And while I was strongly interested and supporting the growth of the company, I did not feel valued. I did not feel recognized. And this is how I emphasized the significance of the human factor in building a strong and thriving workplace. So I decided to go back to school after 5 years of studying. I decided to go back to school and to study HR. And I'm working in hospitality for more than 16 years now. So I'm very passionate about HR, and I make sure that I place, it's not, sorry. This one? Okay. And I make sure that I place people in the center of everything that I do. So in 16 years, I've seen a complete transformation in HR, with a renewed interest shifting from an administrative function to a critical role in talent management. And the talent management starts by the recruitment strategy and also the different process that we use to attract candidates. So, it's this way. According to the Future Job of Report 2023 by the World Economic Forum, because we talk here about technology, so employers anticipate a structural labor market churn of 23% of jobs in the next 5 years. And the impact of most technology on jobs is expected to be a net positive over the next 5 years. So recruitment has become extremely crucial and challenging. And discussion about attractiveness, retention, onboarding, offboarding have become commonplace. We talk also about ghosting, about employee boomerang, about quiet quitting, which makes recruitment very difficult. And study shows that millennials and digital natives will account for around 75% of the workforce by 2030. And millennials and Gen Z are very volatile. And they no longer value long-term careers or extend hours to prove their competence. They seek transparency, self-worth, and choices. And another fact is that retention becomes challenging due to the strong competition for certain roles and less competitive salaries. So yes, recruitment has become challenging, and I've seen so many changes in the behaviors of candidates and recruiters. So it becomes very hard now to hire. And recruitment takes a lot of place in HR. So I was scrolling last 2 weeks on LinkedIn, and I've seen some comments. And I think we should consider the candidates' thoughts and feelings. And here, someone talking about we need to have a bundle for jobs. She's talking about how candidates and recruiter interacts now. So she's saying candidates make a profile and employers have profile per job description. We swipe right, left on each other. And here you have another comment about recruiters that are ghosting now candidates. So what is this relationship now? How do we hire people? How do we attract them? How do we give an answer? And someone who has been working for many years and now he's looking for a job, and because he's looking for a job, he starts to search on LinkedIn and on social media, and he found out that recruiters have become very also challenging, not only from the candidate side, but also the recruiters, and that we should find a way to approach each other and to meet. So on the other side, recruiters also try to find a way to approach candidates. And I've been invited to join a WhatsApp group 2 weeks ago. And here, what is the purpose of that group? Is to post job offers in the group and for candidates to post their profile so they can meet inside the group. So how do we hire now? I'm using LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the reference in the recruitment. But posting an offer is very costly. So what do? We post jobs on LinkedIn. And this is how we get applications. So many candidates apply, they send messages. But honestly, I don't have time to go through all these applications and screen each CV and give my feedback to the candidate. So yes, new jobs are emerging and turnover increases, and the recruitment has become very challenging. And many systems are sought and are being in the market now to address the turnover and to find different solutions. But as a recruiter, we often need to combine different solutions. So, for example, we have contact with recruitment agencies, headhunters. We use our own HR system, and we also post many offers on online job boards. So I have been working in hospitality and in HR for more than 15 years. And I have been recruiting many times. And I also screened a lot of CVs and meet thousands of candidates. But I realized that we need a different approach to meet candidates. We need to meet them efficiently and reduces time and delays. So this is why, with my co-founders, we decided to develop the Tinder of the recruitment. So this is Job Win-Win. And Job Win-Win addresses the most longer part of the recruitment. This is the screening part, when we post a job and we wait for candidates to apply. So Job Win-Win, we don't need anymore to send an application. The candidates will only register online. He will update his data and post all his skills. He can also post a CV and a video, and he will meet with the recruiter, online. So this application is not here to replace recruitment agencies or online job board. It's also, for us, an opportunity to bring and to address the most difficult part of the recruitment. So systems is not only what we need to put in place. We also need to talk about the culture of the company. So here, what we do, we anticipate. How do we anticipate? So we need to analyze our structure and to see the impact of all the factors that will impact our workforce. So we need to anticipate the need and talk about the new positions that are emerging, and also the jobs that are in decline. Sorry, I'm a bit stressed. It's good, yes. Okay. So you need to think about your structure, about the evolution of your structure, and to address this. And we need to support the growth. So, Nisreen, you have been talking about the management. And for me, it's very important to talk about the management and to help them to support their team. Because if you have a strong management, you have a strong workforce. And it's important also to take care about your people. So you told also that it's taking care about the people is very important. Why? Because they are with us all the day. So people are our most important asset. And here, this is why I asked you before. This is why I asked you, how do you feel? So we need to provide them a work-life balance and to empower our management team. So taking care about our people, because they are our best ambassadors. And what we have here as well is a system recognition for them. So what is a system recognition? It's to talk about their improvements, and it's also to recognize them by different ways. Because our workforce is our best ambassadors. And we also have a referee program. So the referee program is an opportunity for them to talk about here, to talk about us, and to also attract different candidates. So a candidate is a skill provider. So this is what I often say. So when I recruit people, I don't only see the candidate for the position, but I see over the CV. So I need to find out what is the potential of this candidate, and if he doesn't fit in this position, where can I place him? And we also need to change our behavior regarding the candidates. So when a candidate applies, he needs a response. And we often take our time to give a response. This is why candidates talk about ghosting. Because we think that we have our time, and we think that we have the power. But today, there is a shift. And this shift is because they have a lot of opportunities, and because the market now is very tight, and because they can have also different salaries, different increase in their salaries, so that's why the behavior has to change. So using different systems is very important, but also considering how to retain our workforce and how to attract them. And thank you, and sorry because I was very stressed for this presentation. And I would say, this is one of my focus for this year. So to improve my presentation skills.
Very good. Very good. Another round of applause. Very clear, very concise.
But you know, this is our, let's say, the paradigm, because we are here to support people, to help them to improve themselves, but we often forget to develop our own skills. And even if it's natural for us, it's not easy, you know, to think only about you, and then you take your time to help them, to support them, to assist them, and to give advice. But when it comes to you, you often forget that you also need to take care of you,
sure.
which is very important.
And I think one of the greatest, round of applause for that. And we're going to be talking about well-being today further as well. And I think one of the greatest challenges for me as a leader of a company that's got a few offices around the world is everybody's a lot younger than me now. And it's the learning that you have to do that you can take from the generations that are coming through, continuously challenging, because they're not afraid. They're not afraid to challenge. They're not afraid to call you out. And I mean, I've got to say the last 3 or 4 years has been the biggest learning curve of my life of the last 30 years. So constantly on our feet, and in you in particular in HR, such a dynamic field, yeah?
That's
Any questions? Questions, comments? Yeah, down the back there. Microphone down the back, no?
Yeah,
or have you got a nice strong voice, yeah? Yeah.
Thank you.
What are the thank you. What are the traits you are looking from the candidates before selecting a suitable candidate? When you have a very general, large group of a pool of candidates.
Well, this is our main difficulty because when we post a job offer, we can receive more than 600 CV for one position. So we have an internal system that we use, and there is an assessment. So they have to pass an assessment. And the only way we have to select is to first check the assessment and see if they fit with the position, if they are, let's say, strong people, or if they lack competencies. So this is the first step that we use. And then I would say it's not easy because I'm sure that even with the assessment, we forget a lot of candidates. And it's not only for me about the assessment, it's also about the potential. And this is why I say that there is a shift, and we need to see over the CV. We need to explore the potential of the candidate and not only just check the CV, the experience, the diplomas, and fit this candidate in this position. So you meet with people, even if they don't fit with that position, you need to think that maybe they can fit in another position. And we need to think ahead.
Thank you.
Set of skills, values that we want to carry with the organization, how we can extract out of the recruitment process and be able to also focus. Because sometimes we have the dilemma: do we hire people for their soft skills and teach them the job, or we hire someone who knows how to do it, but in a way that doesn't match the organization? So I would like the soft skills more than because technically like the skills or the hard skills we can learn, but I mean, the question is how can we find a way, or how the recruitment process help us to at least focus on extracting these from the candidates?
Well, you know, I work in hospitality. In hospitality, it's very important to have people with strong soft skills because we think that we can teach them all the technical competencies. So we have some interview notes that we use, and we need to ask questions to the colleague, to the candidates. But this is not something that I use because for me, an interview is to listen to the candidate and to read him and to see if he has the soft skills. So you have different systems. You can use assessment, but I think that this interaction, how you discuss with the candidate, you ask him some very oriented question, and the way he will reply, you can, if you have experience as well, you can assess the soft skills.
And do you think there's a way to change the concept of CV by, because we have this traditional way, we have the list of experience, and then somewhere we put, I am, I don't know, like a team player, I am ethical at work, whatever is the soft skills that we are looking for. But there is no, I don't know, like, should change the way of drafting the CVs and having more focus on the soft skills. So at least when we read the CV, we can, of course, some people can lie in the CV, but that's not the goal of the question. Say, at least I want to make sure that we can highlight in the candidates, the hundreds candidates that we receive, that we give the same chance of the one that has perfect match in the first screening to the one that having perfect match for the soft skills.
So you're right, and this is, you know, I did not go into detail when I presented the job win-win, but what we wanted to have is the same format for the presentation for the candidate, because I know that some candidates will have a very good CV and some others, they don't know how to present and to introduce themselves. So this is also a skill. So how to introduce yourself, how to present yourself. And this is why in Job Win-Win, we have decided to have the same presentation for every candidate. So regarding the soft skills, unfortunately, before you meet the candidate, it's not easy to define. So this is an outcome from the conversation that you will have with him. So as I said, you can have assessment tools to see if he has the soft skills. But also soft skills are not general soft skills, so they depend also on the position. So when you meet with a candidate, the first step and the first interview is for that actually, to see if he has the skills. So here, what we do is that the managers will meet the candidate to assess technical side, and then we meet him to validate the profile and to validate his soft skills. So for me, the question is during the interview. Okay. This is not something that you can assess before.
Just to reinforce that as well, 10, 15 years ago, most of the recruitment we were doing had technical skills,
yes,
right, and assessments, software assessments. Now we use behavioural assessments.
Exactly.
If the client wishes to use that before we put the shortlist forward. But as you say, it comes down to the empathy shown in interviews and those soft skills. Pick up what you can. I mean, Elon Musk doesn't bother about technical skills, does he? He's all about what are the behavioural aspects, how agile are people, how dexterous, and how dependable are they going to be under pressure. I think one of the favourite questions he asked is, tell me about a thing that you had as a disaster and got completely wrong. How did you recover from it? Right. Which brings out a lot about what your personal skills are. Right?
Exactly. Exactly. And I have a story. So it was a few months back. We posted a position of IT manager. And Lalaine, who is in my team, who is in charge of the recruitment, so she screened CVs and she saw his applications. So she called him. And so she introduced herself. Hi, this is Lalaine. I'm from Raffles, Dubai, and I'm calling you for the position of IT manager. And the response is, how much is the salary? So she came to my office. She was scared, like she saw a ghost, and she told me, Yasmin, I have an issue. I don't know what to do. So I said, what's the issue? And she said, so I introduced myself, and the first question was, how much is the salary? So I said, yes, so what's the issue exactly? She said, well, he did not even talk. He did not even say hello. So I asked her, what did you do? I said, so maybe this is something that we can talk later. And he said, no, if you don't tell me about the salary, it's not, I will not go and move forward. So I told her, yes, so this is very important now. Even if he doesn't have these skills, he needs to know, because by this way, he's saving our time. He's saving your time, he's saving my time. So was he right? Yes, because no need to move forward if you don't have the criteria. But would I hire him? No, because he doesn't have these skills that are very important, especially in our industry.
Yeah, and just rather comment or maybe also open for discussion. Just wanting to link actually the presentation from Nisreen and yours. When Nisreen touched point on the fact that when you hire someone, you have to look at him being like 2 or 3 years maximum in that position so he can move in around, so you avoid the stagnation. And when we do the recruitment, especially now with all the application, the AI, the systems, and all the criteria, we generally tend to do plug and play. So I have a position, I want this person to fit exactly into that position and to do it. So assuming the person has the right CV filters, has the right skills, it goes through the filters of LinkedIn or whatever other platform, and we get that candidate. So at which point, really, do we consider that person, he will be plug and play, he will do exactly the same task for 2, 3 years, but then what are the other competencies that maybe some other candidates would have had, so you can move him around in other positions, so he can maybe contribute to the organization with different skills. And like you rightly says, Musk have asked about, you know, what can you do more than just this kind of skills? And I think in our recruitment, we should also look forward and look at the big picture than just plug and play. So how do you see that?
Exactly. So the plug and play. This is how we recruit today. So we need to fill a position, and we have a candidate, and we think that he will meet the criteria, so he will fit the position. But when Nisrin talks about looking the potential, and I think we agree about that, is that you don't, sometimes some candidates, so now they have a position and they can fit in the role, but they also have different competencies, and they have been doing many jobs before. So you can see through the CV if they have different competencies. And then you can think about what you have in the structure, the emerging job, as I said, the job that will disappear, and see also, depending on the strategy, which system, which process you will put in place, and if these competencies will fit in this process. So, unfortunately, we cannot know what will happen in 2 or 3 years. So, we cannot decide from now what position we can give him in 3 years. And this is something very important, because I've seen many times some candidates joining the company, and they are doing well, performing, and then they come to me and they say, I need to change. I've seen a new vacancy. You posted a new vacancy. I would like to be transferred to this department. And the manager told me that in 6 months, I can apply for the job. But sometimes they have some promise from their manager, but they are not ready for that role. So also Nisrin talked about the performance, and performance is a continuous process. It's not about meeting the employee 1 time per year, but it's having different meetings through the year, and a very deep conversation and communication to assess how they feel first, what they can provide, if they are learning sometimes they are learning some skills from outside, or not even what you provide them, trainings that you provide, and they are interested in something else. So it's important to keep this communication and to also understand what are their needs. Because it's not only about the company needs, but also what they want for the future, what they want in their career growth.
Okay. Thank you.
One final question. Yes, yeah, a quick one, just adding to your story about the salary question. I guess also it's coming from the culture here in the region, that it's very rare that good companies doing published jobs and mentioning the salary range. And I guess this takes a lot of your time also as a recruiter to speak to candidates that they will not be interested for this specific salary range. And even in interviews, it always comes to questions from the recruiter that what's your salary expectations, or what are you earning now, instead of mentioning what's the budget for this position. What's your take on that?
Exactly. And for me, we should discuss this question at the beginning. And I know that many companies don't share their salaries online because of many reasons. And this data particularly is very important, because I've been doing interviews and sometimes going through 4 interviews, and at the end, when you announce the salary, it does not fit. And it's okay, because this is what we propose, and this is not what you need. We cannot force the candidate to take the position. And we need to understand as well. Maybe he has a better salary. So this is why we should address this question at the beginning of the process. And when we have the first call with the candidate, this question should be in the call. Or we can post it online, but as I said, many companies don't like to share. And this is particularly something that is very crucial. And this is why I will again talk about job win-win. The matching is also based on this criteria. So when a candidate input his data, he will put his salary expectation. And the recruiter will post the offer with the salary, the salary that they offer. This information is not displayed, so the candidate will not know. But if he sees the job offer, it means that it meets his criteria, so they can move forward.
Otherwise, it will filter it out.
Mm.
Very good. We're going to move right along. You have lots to talk about. There's going to be plenty of opportunity for discussion.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Hello, good morning, everyone. So let's talk about well-being. I think we talk a lot about people today, okay? I'm glad to hear that, because in supply chain we talk always about geopolitical situation, risk, people, productivity, okay? So we don't touch base about the well-being of the people. So before we start, I wanted to do some breathing technique. So I don't know if in the room you know the breathing technique of 4-7-8. Do you know about that? No. Okay, then let's do it today. Okay. I saw Yasmin had a stress on speaking today. Let's release her stress. Okay. So what you need to do is you inhale for 4 seconds, you hold the breath for 7 seconds, and you exhale for 8 seconds. Okay. So let's do it one, everybody. You can close your eyes, open your eyes, up to you. So 4 seconds inhale, 7 seconds hold the breath, and 8 seconds exhale. Someone is dying today. So what is this technique is, you know, we are in supply chain, we talk about supply chain today, but can apply for anything, right? We always have a stress sometimes, a ball around that, right? So this technique I'm using personally because, you know, we're in the field of supply chain where we are very stressful way of doing it. So I'm using sometime when I feel overstressed. It's helping me for some time. I'm doing 3 times and then I go back to the real state. So feel free to use it. I wanted to share today with you. Then I have a question. So for all of you, what do you think well-being is becoming an important topic today? For you, what is your view? Yes, if you raise your hand. Okay, good number of people. No, raise your hand. Okay, so I think the well-being is most is yes. So I will talk about that on that. And do you think is we have to make the change, or the policy, the government, organization has to do that? So do you think his organization, policy has to do that, or within ourselves we have to make it? So we feel is organization, policy, okay, both, correct. So this is where we'll talk about some points today. So I wanted to start with one quote from this famous guy, okay? You know him, most probably everybody knows him. I don't know, I will ask you, that's why I'm asking you. So it's very important, it's very powerful to say that take care of your people, they will take care of your client or your customer. This is meaning of everything in the well-being when you talk about that. So here, if you go in that, when you talk about today, most of the company, they will talk about customer first. Okay, what customer is God, right? So I have a customer, whatever is asking, I say yes to him, right? Most of the time. Now, the trend from company are changing. I can tell you from Schneider Electric, we have a new program, people, okay, sustainability is one of the criteria topic, but people becoming one of the criteria in the organization, which was not it was the case, but maybe on the top 5. Now it's becoming top 2, okay? So this is where I think the well-being, taking care of people, we talk about a lot of people things today, taking care of them, making good plan, think like a manager to make sure that everybody is going in the same direction. Let me now give you facts about the well-being. This is a study came from Gallup. Is an organization doing more than a decade about the well-being survey across maybe billion people around the world, okay? And I just took 3 numbers, which I think will give us some light of the well-being. So if you have in your organization or what you are doing, taking care of your people, focusing on the well-being. Of course, I'm not saying that the performance, the productivity, the efficiency we need to do is not important. This is becoming a basic requirement, right? But if you take care of your people today, and you know in the region, I think we have someone from Michael Page here, we are not missing talent, but we don't have enough talent in the supply chain field, right? So to retain them is difficult, first of all, because there are a lot of demand. Second, if you don't take care of them, they will leave. So if you take care of them, they will have less likely chance that they will look for a job outside the market. 70% more or less of the people, they will not look for a job. They will be happy with where they are. If you look at the second one, is linked to the burnout. They will not feel a burnout here. If you look today, during the COVID situation in Europe, there were almost 40% of people who went to burnout. And you know, in France, when you are in sick leave, you can say for 6 months you get paid. Not like in this region, unfortunately, okay? And last one is they will have also positive impact in their life, okay? So today, as you know, that most of us struggle in our personal life, in our work balance life, okay? So that's creating some challenges for us to focus and stay ahead of the game. So I wanted to share that. The message of this presentation here is the well-being can have a positive impact for you and for your organization, okay? So I believe that the well-being starts from us. Because most of the time we said, I hear in the market, because I had a chance to talk to a couple of people, they always said that it's my manager is doing that for me. Or I'm not getting promotion because it's blocking me. A lot of things happening like that, right? But if you focus on ourselves, say what I'm liking, okay, then you'll progress. When he was thinking about personal branding, maybe we'll touch about that later on. So what is a personal branding? It's taking care of ourselves, right? The well-being is the same thing. So we take care of ourselves, and then we grow accordingly, okay? So never put blaming on others when we talk about the well-being, okay? So I will maybe go for, everybody's talk about well-being. What is well-being, okay? Some people will talk about health, some people will talk about financials, some people will talk about mental health, right? So it's 3 dimensions. So we can see, we don't see it properly. The first one is physical, okay? Second one is emotional, third one is finance, okay? So if you look, the physical element is mainly how is our lifestyle. I start for the first, there are a lot of studies these days coming out with the sleeping patterns, right? If you don't sleep 8 hours a day, then you are most likely to not live longer. Now there are studies coming back on the market today, okay? So this is one of the well-being elements. Second part is when we talk about fitness program. Today, maybe in this part of the world, sometimes we don't get time to do exercise or working out, right? So let's take maybe step by step to do maybe 5-minute work every day. That is more than enough at the beginning stage. And then you'll see at more you go, more you'll feel better on your physical, then you'll be able to deliver, right? So this is on the physical element. It's very important. If you are not fit, then you'll not be able to sustain on the emotional part. Because the emotional part is the brain that will drive everything, okay? So where here is our work-life balance is coming. For me, I don't like to put work-life balance. I like to put life-work balance, okay? Because if you are good in your life, automatically your work will follow accordingly, okay? So here, if on the emotional one is what message I'm giving to you today is maybe based on my personal experience during that time. Maybe you will have different experience. Your organization will have a different mindset moving forward. But on the emotional part, this is linked to where you are, location, emotional state you are, your organization, so that this will be differ to people, and organization to organization. Okay? So, but it's very important to stay connected on the emotional state, because now we have a new crisis on the board, on the Red Sea crisis, which soon will have impact on the supply chain people. Okay? So we need to take care of our team member. So if we, as leader, I think on the room today, we are not in a good physical state, and you are not in an emotional state, how will we be able to help our team member? It will be difficult to do that. Okay? So this is extremely important to do that. And this breathing technique I did, I'm using for my emotional state sometimes. Okay? So on the last one, it's finance. Everybody will talk about finance. Yes, we are all, on the world of today, you mentioned, Kim, that with a lot of data element coming in, we have people growing, we always want to compare with someone, right? And on the financial is not actually how much you are getting, but it's some of the example I give you. I don't know if you know the famous player. He's not a supply chain field, but it's a famous player in France, Mbappe. So he recently mentioned he's billionaire, he's having a lot of money, right? You just mentioned on the emotional state that I have a lot of money, but I'm so famous, I cannot go a normal coffee and have a drink coffee with my friend, nobody interrupting me. Correct? In his financial state, he's on a very high level, right? He don't have a challenge. Maybe he knows how to manage it, right? But on the emotional state, he cannot manage today because his life is different, right? I give you this example, I come back to supply chain. On the finance is not how much you get, but how you handle your money. Sometimes you become billionaire, but if you don't know how to manage your money, you'll not be able to be on the right state. On the study, they said people win the lottery, okay? 1% out of 2, they become broke after some time. Reason being because they cannot manage their financial element, okay? So that is on the well-being of the three aspect. But if you come back to the supply chain, if I put supply chain people in the well-being, will be, maybe finance, I'll keep it on the side, will be more towards this element on the middle of that, okay? Reason, physical, we are stressful hours, you work crazy hours on the supply chain, non-stop, lot of demand, growth factor is there, okay? So we are always moving towards this direction. But it's very difficult to, how can I say, to drive the change if you are not having these two elements. And that's why today, even on the C level, it's becoming difficult because they are not able to manage this emotional state sometime and all affect the organization today. So that's why the well-being is becoming very important. I'm starting from employee, but if you look from the leadership perspective, if you are not in this state, then you'll not be able to lead in today's world. You'll be left behind. As you mentioned before, the new generation. I had an interview with we are recruiting someone in Egypt, and during the interview, young generation, they asked, what is the well-being of Schneider Electric today? First question, not the salary, okay? They said, what is the well-being of Schneider Electric today? How you take care of your people? I was surprised. But this will come, because the new generation will be demanding on that. If I come that in your organization, what are you doing for people, for us to succeed? And that's why the well-being is becoming an important part of the supply chain, or other organization, not only supply chain, but other function moving forward. So how we can improve we talk about well-being, we talk about ourselves, we talk about going walking, we talk about watching some positive element, and etc. So I asked you the question at the beginning, do you think that it's the government, policy, organization, or ourselves to change that? We said both. First is starting, I said, from the manager. Today, if you look on the organization, we hire for a skilled talent, but we don't utilize them because it's on. We don't empower them to take a right decision. which is happening today in the market. I'm telling you what is my day-to-day experience, what I see. We are not empowering the manager to take care of their well-being because they cannot take care of themselves with high level of pressure, with high demands, that they cannot cope up with that, okay? So this is the first element, to really empower, focus on what tool the manager needs, what are the capabilities, what state he is, how we can help him to manage. Not only manager, I'm thinking manager means everybody in the organization, okay? The second point is, today, if you look about all the organization, we have the sustainability impact goals. Agree? Today. But we never see the well-being of people element. We cannot put a number on that today, right? We cannot put a number on the well-being. But this is where the executive of the organization needs to be accountable for that. Then you will see a change. Otherwise, it will remain the same, okay? And the third element is, we talk about today, recently I noticed that human sustainability. It's a new, I think, term or words coming in the market today on the human sustainability. So this human sustainability is linked to the human rights. You know, we know that there are some happening in Schneider today. We have been auditing the human rights in this region. Reason being that because of what happened in the World Cup in Qatar, that's triggered everything is happening today. So this is linked to the human rights and human sustainability, and see how we drive the change according to the well-being, okay? So this is, I think, the three factors. It's a journey. Maybe it's not available today, but it's a journey that starts from us, drive to the organization policy, and then work more towards the human and capabilities there, okay? Last one, I think I'm on at the end of my presentation. Just small smile, okay? If someone is not smiling, give your smile and help hand, and that will help us all together. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Serge. I'll hold on to that. Quick Q&A. Any questions, comments? Sreen, down here.
Hi, Serge.
We can hear you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. I was writing ideas while you were talking because we are in the same field. Can I ask you one thing, please? Can you tell us what we could start doing from today or tomorrow with our teams to improve even one thing in the well-being of supply chain teams? Thank you.
Okay, I'll give you what I'm doing today. You know, I'm in logistics field, and from last 3 years with the COVID situation was very difficult, okay? What I'm doing while I'm doing working sometime is I stay in touch with my team every day, even in 5 minutes. Just so I have a call, okay, how we are doing, everything is okay. All my team, no exception, every day. So that's, at least I keep them engaged, and then we understand what is their challenge during the day. So that's what I'm doing on daily basis with my team while I'm working sometime in the evening.
Hi, this is Suhail Siddiqui. I'm the Director of Procurement for Jamal Majid's Group. First, I must congratulate you on an aspect of supply chain which is normally not considered. So I thank the organizers for sharing that. We all talk about KPIs, we all talk about the speed of response, we all talk about how fast we can turn around and respond to the customer. But I'm really impressed with what you're doing and what you've said over there. So thank you very much.
Most welcome.
On a second note, let me share with you, and I'll respond to take that question on my end. What we've done is that when I joined this company about a couple of years ago, all my warehouses and everything was the typical way our warehouses are. We are an old company, almost 40, 50 years in business. Over a period of time, we've evolved a little bit, but not so much. One arena which was never considered was in the area of supply, people welfare and sustainability. So I got the opportunity to take an initiative which combined the both of them, and 1.5 years down the line, we are reaping some exceptional rewards out of that. What we did was, across the whole warehouse, everywhere possible where we could, we ripped out sections from the floor outside the warehouse and replaced it with ordinary, sand which could be utilized. And in that, we went and we sourced plants. We formed teams, and we planted them everywhere. If you come down to our place today and our warehouses, you'll be amazed to see that most of it is green. And now I'm going to, inshallah, have competitions between the various warehouses and give away prizes for the one and a trophy for the best plantation team across my warehouses. It cost me very little money, negligible. You know, if you go to the Dubai municipality in Varsan, you can buy plants for 2 dirhams and 5 dirhams. That's it, literally. If you come to our place today, our entire parking was, there was a divider between the warehouse and the parking, which was this disgusting old kind of a cloth on a metal fence. We ripped that apart, we planted plants and creepers, and they've covered almost the entire wall. Warehouse, which was never considered, it was, just one of those relegated to the backside of things. We are now literally the people or the division which is looked up to from the rest of the group with respect to all the initiatives that we have taken. We hold Ramadan iftars for the staff inside our warehouse using a table made of air conditioners. We recognize some of the staff who've come up with the best ideas. We planted trees in the names of our employees and leading hands, staff who probably draw about very, very minuscule salaries, laborers. They're really amazed to see that if you go across our warehouse, you will find plants bearing the name of the directors, and right next to it is the name of a placard of the leading hand, or the laborer as we call him, who had come up with some of the best ideas. I found this to have a tremendous impact on the morale of the people, and I found them, like you said, take care of the employees and they take care of you. We took the best teams out for restaurants, to lunches, which otherwise they would never have gone, really good quality restaurants. And all of these have now begun to turn around and give us benefits in terms of employee well-being. I wanted to share that experience with everybody over here and see if you might find it something you'd like to do.
Thank you so much. I like the idea of the tree with the employee name. It's very good idea.
Yeah, we have pictures we could show you afterwards.
Thank you. Any other final quick one? Sumit, quick 10 seconds from you.
Okay. That's a 3 words. There was a definition of 3 words which in my 70s, 80s, or probably 90s. There was a quote saying, "We live to work," and now it's changed to work to live. So what do you think has changed? Has this quote changed in the millennium, or is it still the same? Live to work or work to live? What do you think about it?
I think the French have always worked to live.
Yeah, if you ask me, I put the life always first. Okay, but what changed, I think, is a good question. Is I think we talk about the transformation of the digitization, right? Too many data available today. We are always connected. Okay, we are always, like when you start getting the laptop. When you said at the beginning, when they gave us the phone, when they gave us the laptop, that was a transition. Okay, you can work now anywhere. You can bring your work everywhere. When you work during the COVID, it was or maybe your bedroom or your separate room, so you bring the work to your place, okay? So the way that we changed with the digital world, maybe that can be maybe the transition between what was in 80s or 60s, something like that, because they were working, going home, we spend time with family. Now all this change with the technology. This is my perception, again, on the move.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks, Sush.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we're running a little bit about an hour late.
We'll give it like this later. No problem. Okay. Okay, maybe we can hand those all out and then everybody can get there with their photos. We'll do it in group or individually? Individually? Okay. Photo opportunity.
Thank you so much.
Very good. Into the front. Okay. I've started to give you at the beginning. and then come into the center, guys. Under the lights. Come into the center. It's this one. Okay. Awards, photos. Well, it is awards week. I mean, we've had the Emmys, we've had the Oscars, and now we'll be doing the Bureau.
Just talking about appreciation.
The Chinese, the supply chain awards. There we go. Good. Serge, here comes yours. Good, good. All right, and one with everybody together. Come over to the centre. Okay. Yusuf, you're on the other end. You're the bookend like me. Okay. So moving into the afternoon session, we're going to have two 20-minute panels. And the first panel is going to be future-proofing supply chain competencies, trends and skills for the next decade. And we're delighted to have Dr. Mona Mustafa, who is from the University of Birmingham, and she is going to moderate this session. So welcome, Doctor. Thank you for joining us. And we're going to bring on her panel, and I'm pretty sure everybody is here. And we'll ask them all to do a quick 30-second introduction of themselves, so I don't delay the proceedings any further when they come up. So Tiago Costa, if you can come up and join us. Tiago, if you're here. Thanks so much. Tiago Costa. Dr. Balan from Wollongong University. So Balan Sandaranakarnan, Kanani. It's an Aussie university, but it's not an Aussie name. But come on, Balan and I have known each other for about 20 years, because we used to be at Knowledge Village as well. So Dr. Balan's joining us from Wollongong. Sharia Riaz is going to join us as well. Shukran, come up and join us. And Saeed Ait Amara. Saeed, Shukran, come on up and join us. And Doc, over to you.
Oh, great. Thank you very much, everyone. So I've been given 20 minutes only. So we'll try and cram everything in there. So welcome to all the speakers. Would you like them to maybe introduce themselves, or is that done? Okay. So 1 minute each introduction, please. We'll start with Tiago, please.
Good afternoon by now. Everyone, my name is Tiago Costa. I'm the CEO of the Tourism Talent Solutions business across 12 countries at the moment, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Balan Sundarakani. I'm associated with the University of Wollongong in Dubai, a Rosi name, as Kim said. As a professor working with the University of Wollongong for the past 15 years here, I've been teaching, doing research and consultancy projects in the area of supply chain management logistics. Previously, I worked in Singapore, sometime Switzerland, sometime in India. So that's my short profile.
Hello everyone, my name is Saeed Aitamara. So I'm Chief Procurement and Sustainability. My expertise is around transformation of procurement and supply chain. And nowadays I strive as well into trying to drive sustainability through procurement and supply chain.
Good afternoon and pleasure to be here. I'm the regional manager for Michael Page Supply Chain Recruitment Practice. We're a multinational recruitment business, and my team and I, who are kindly recording me at the moment, specialize in hiring supply chain talent. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much to all the panelists. It's so wonderful to see the human element of supply chain being discussed, especially issues such as well-being. All right, okay. Especially, oh, that's how it works then. All right, so, so I'm very passionate about the well-being at work, mental health. As a certified mental health first aid trainer, I also provide training for organizations to bring this topic and to look at the impact it has on employees and their productivity. So I'm so happy to see the human element being discussed in supply chain.
I'd like to start with a quote, a very powerful one, that talks about Industry 4.0. As you all know, Industry 4.0 was first popularized in Germany around the year 2016 by Klaus Schwab, who was the chairman, founder of the World Economic Forum. I'll read you a very quick quote, and that will lead us to our question. So Klaus said, "We are standing on the brink of technological revolution that will fundamentally alter the way we live, work, and relate to one another. In its scale, scope, and complexity, the transformation will be unlike anything humankind has experienced before." So we are absolutely living this transformation, this change. And I'd like to really look at how this transformation, the Industry 4.0, is changing the world of supply chain, and what are the challenges and opportunities associated with this digital disruption. And I'd like to maybe ask that question to Tiago, please, if you don't mind starting us off.
Well, sure.
Yeah, thank you very much, Tiago.
No, my pleasure. When I was driving here today, I was actually thinking about something, which is if we would have this panel with farmers before the industrial revolution, we would ask them, how can we future-proof your careers? I wonder what would be the general overview, because, and again, I'm not. The idea is not to compare HR and supply professionals with farmers, but to compare that the world changed and the marketplace changed, and the way that we look at professions and we look at recruitment and we look at all across different industries, it changed. So I think that the digitalization is something that's, it's not a nice to have. It's not, I wonder when it's going to happen. It's here for a few years. I think that during the pandemic, what happened with the supply chain, which was, came up a lot of bottlenecks about, supply chain, it just drove some accelerated maybe the use of technology to be able to eliminate those bottlenecks. And with that technology also comes a transition of the way that we look at recruitments, the way that we look at talents, the way that we look at people in our businesses, because reality is what we look at careers today are not the same careers that are going to continue to exist. And that's the reality. I think we all need to stop thinking about, will it be a loss of jobs? 100%. There will be a loss of jobs. There will be also a transition of jobs to other kind of jobs. And I guess that digitalization take a huge impact of it. I think it was quite recently that IMF informed, suggested, posted that in very soon, so there was not a threshold of it's going to be in 10 years, in 5 years, in 20 years, very soon that 60% of the current jobs in the world, especially in the most developed economies, will just disappear and they will be replaced by technology. So it's not a matter of it might happen, it will happen. I heard today in the morning, some of the speakers talking about upskilling, which is 100% needs. We heard about training, about well-being in the workplace. I guess that all of these things are not a when, are a now, and we just need to adapt to them. Not sure if it helped.
Thank you very much, Tiago. Yes, that's really wonderful. My students always ask me, what's our life going to be when we graduate in 2026? Because we know that technology is going to take over our jobs. And I always have to tell them, yes, it will take over many jobs, but millions of new jobs will be created as well. So let's talk a little bit about this, trendy topic, sustainability, green economy. We know this is really important now. So how is the growing emphasis on sustainability shaping, the profession of supply chain? And what kind of skills are we really looking for? So, Dr. Balan, would you like to take us through that, trend, in terms of sustainability and the key skills that the future generation, how do you prepare your students for this new trend that we're all experiencing?
My pleasure. It's on? Yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, so well, the trend is always there. We are looking different trends or different waves of transformation happening. Now we are looking at the digital transformation as one trend or one wave, and then we're also looking at the sustainability as another wave of transformation happening globally. Now students are learning skills. They are upscaling themselves, they are reskilling themselves in terms of their capability, in terms of their transition in the learning curve. Now, when we look at that, everyone is having the digital technologies in their handset now. For example, in this event, we are talking about the supply chain transformation. The moment it is being captured by all the devices that we have. So AI is there, AI-based algorithm is there in the devices. When you go back home, when you go back to your workspace, you can see that there are similar matches that are being then forwarded to your mobile, and that you can see that the catch that is coming from the AI-driven the technology that is there. So this is just one thing. Likewise, when I teach 3 hours class about logistics warehousing, when I go back, I can see that there are relevant searches and there are relevant matches that are being forwarded to me by the technology. So students are living in a type of technological transformation. We call it as Industry 4.0. And there is also already a wave of transformation happening towards the Industry 5.0 in all space, in all verticals. So there is also transformation happening in all functions. So we are talking about functions within logistics industry. So therefore, the challenges is that how they visualize a supply chain in a big scale, how they visualize the supply chain in a larger scale amidst the complexity that they have. So looking at the big picture is what the challenge for students. I think that's what the importance at the age of technology that we are looking at. They should be able to visualize the big picture, and then they should be able to see the details of it. So simplicity among complexity is what we always inculcate to our students, that they have to see all the data that is coming from the various horizontals and verticals of supply chain, and then they should be able to make the planning, they should be able to make the strategies or execution at different levels of their roles on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. So students have to then look at that skills from different level. For example, we look at the quantitative skills. Quantitative skills are in terms of analytical thinking, in terms of that problem solving, in terms of applying AI, machine learning into their daily activities, and then matching those things to their executions. I think this is what important. I think this is what will give them an edge on their learning curve, and that will make an impact in a nutshell.
Thank you very much, Professor Balan, for this great discussion. So
maybe
yes.
if I may add something on sustainability.
Oh, yes,
if you don't
please.
mind.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Just to add on top of this one, sustainability, as we always see it, is a big topic going on nowadays. And it's not just a topic, it's real, it's there. I've been attending many conferences lately, COP28, for those who have attended, you've seen that it is there. I've attended also the Dubai Air Show, GITEX, and all of them, they had specific forum talking about sustainability. But sustainability, not just as a word, as a buzzword, but to be actionable. So we take action around it. And who come into the picture each time we talk about taking action on sustainability is 1, supply chain, and 2, procurement. So I don't know if you are familiar with what you call scope 1, scope 2, and scope 3 in terms of the carbon emission. But just to summarize it, we have actually break down the way how we actually, our organization actually is impacting the environment through different scope. So either through our shipments, through whatever we're shipping out, downstream or upstream. So supply chain has a big role in this one. More than 40% of the carbon emission is coming from supply chain and procurement. Whatever you are sourcing, either your supplier or your supplies, the way how you're bringing it and how you forwarded it is coming into our hands. Therefore, sustainability has to be core into our strategies as supply chain. We cannot get rid of it. We cannot do without it. And of course, air freight, sea freight is one of the major, actually, carbon emission. Biofuel, we are trying to transit to biofuel in certain areas, but still the airlines are not, they cannot scale it. We don't have enough of volume of biofuel, so they are testing different methods. But for us, whenever we're in supply chain, we need to think through about how can we actually, how can we do our shipments, our logistics into a more sustainable way. Now, coming down to the skills. Often we think that sustainability is not for our supply chain, neither procurement. We say it's corporate sustainability, ESG, it's their role, they will figure it out and so on. But effectively, we need each and every person into our teams to be at least aware about sustainability in their day-to-day actions, to know that, okay, if I have to do a route or a strategy behind it, what will be the impact on the environment? And if we don't have the right people skilled at least to drive this awareness, then the day all those legislations will come into place will be late. We were talking this morning about hiring the right people, so this skill in terms of awareness and sustainability has to be there. And in your team, we all need to have one person at least who's expert in sustainability, environment, social, governance, and also what it means to calculate our carbon emission. At least one person that can then be the sponsor, the one who will train the others and create this awareness, so whenever we take action behind it, sustainability is one of our focus.
That's really wonderful. Thank you very much, Saeed. I love the part, where you emphasize sustainability, but also the skills and how it should be at the core of every, every business. Thank you very much. And I would like to now move to Shahriar, maybe to hear your take on looking at, the new skills. So we say that today we are preparing the next generation for jobs that don't exist yet, using technologies that we don't know yet what these technologies are, for problems that we don't know that they are problems yet. So what, from your perspective then, do you think the new emerging skills that will be necessary for the profession of supply chain?
A really important question, and the answer is somewhat in the title of the panel as well. It's about the human factor. So Dr. Balan and Saeed can potentially give you specific skills that you have to learn regarding sustainability, circular logistics, generally being more data-driven in your decision-making. But what will make someone stand out, in my opinion, and I'll share the rationale for that, is to strengthen your skills and your behaviors as a human being. So we spoke about World Economic Forum. I think a couple of weeks ago, they had mentioned that approximately 1/3 of jobs in existence today will become obsolete in 5 years. And we can talk about the benefits and cons of pros of that, but as Tiago had suggested, it's change. I'm sure we've all heard about creative destruction in some way, shape, or form. So what's the creation aspect here? One of my dear friends, he's a procurement and supply chain consultant, and he always says that supply chain and operations is like an orchestra. You're the main person, I think it's called an orator, and you're making the entire business play the instruments, if you will. And now you have more technology. I used ChatGPT to come up with my answer and then map that with my experience before. So you have more tools at your disposal. So what will set you apart is a few behaviors. And there's a book which I'll mention, but not go too much in detail, not to promote it for someone. But it's called From Source to Sold by Professor Noot in University of Cologne, who's also a partner in McKinsey in Germany. And he comes up with specific behaviors that chief supply chain officers globally have all aligned on as the key criteria for their career success and what they look for in the future. And given that I have the opportunity to deal with supply chain decision makers and hire for them, I 100% agree with him. So what does he say? There's 3 things I will mention. First is collaboration. Now we hear this term all the time. What does it mean exactly? You have to collaborate inside your organization and outside with your suppliers and partners. To be able to collaborate, you have to understand what you exactly have to collaborate on. What does your business do? How does it make money? How can it be sustainable? How do you satisfy customers? How do you value employees? Every person who wants to be successful in supply chain has to show their understanding and demonstrate some sort of broader involvement in the business. And this can go deeper. If you're a procurement professional, you should work with your suppliers to innovate, to set your company apart. And there's many more ways to look at collaboration. The second aspect I would mention is being a great storyteller. This is not something I would consider myself great at, but every single job has a sales, influencing, or storytelling component to it. Now that we're in an age and we're heading toward a direction where information analysis, processing can be done instantly by no need for any human being, what do the humans actually do? They use these technologies as tools, and then they have to deal with decision makers who are ultimately still people. We don't yet have robots and sentient AIs ruling the world yet. So you have to be someone who can convey a message, influence people effectively, tell a story so that there can be strategic involvement and some sort of actual measurable and purposeful success. Going from being an information analyst or information generator to a value generator. And the final one I'll mention is, well, actually this final two, is having a growth mindset, linked to what Serge had mentioned as well, and fostering your ability to think. I won't go too much in detail because Serge has given details on that, but on the growth mind aspect, if we're in an economy which is going to have the most rapid change of all time, well, you cannot stand still. You must adapt yourself, and there's no need to be overwhelmed by what's going to happen. One step at a time. 5-minute walk every day if you want to start exercising, for example. Use the logic of taking some action, but continuing to take action to get better at your job as supply chain. It could mean taking a course, simply going up to a mentor in an organization and saying, I want to get here, what should I do? Or other means, there's plenty of resources at our disposal. And fostering the ability to think. With the technology prevalence, we're also in an environment, each one of us, on individual level, family level, team level, organization, societal level as well, where we're constantly bombarded with information. And whether we like it, whether we know it, whether we discuss it or not, it changes the way our brains work as well. And going back to what I said in the beginning, we have to strengthen our human capabilities. We cannot have an edge by being a better analyst of information on Excel for much longer, I suppose. But you can be a better thinker. Warren Buffett famously spends 6-7 hours reading the paper every day. Who can have this much of free time today? And I understand external factors, but what are we doing ourselves to make these tools exactly what they are, our tools, and developing our deeper thinking ability to use them to guide the future?
Thank you very much, Sahir. Absolutely love that. So just to recap then, collaboration, storytelling, and a growth mindset. And I'd like to now come to Tiago, because I loved his storytelling about farmers when I asked the question. And Tiago, we'd like to really focus now a little bit on the UAE context in terms of Emiratization. We know that all companies now, there's a specific quota where we must recruit local talent. How do you see this changing or shaping the world of supply chain, specifically in the UAE? But I'm sure other GCC countries are experiencing similar things. How can we tap into their talent as well? So, Tiago, would love to hear from you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, that's an interesting question. Well, first focusing on the UAE, and I think it will not. It comes across not only supply chain, but across every single industry. So as we know, there is a nationalization program going on. We also know that 90% of the population in the UAE are expats, which means that there is a very few. So for both of us who search talent for a living, the sample of talent is very important. And the reality is the local Emirati population, it's very decreased. We're talking about 8 to 10% of the population, and they're not all active to be able to be working at the moment. So it makes it a little bit more complicated to find the right talent to be able to include across different industries. It doesn't matter if it's supply chain, pharmaceuticals, FMCG, we're talking about the same, which is a quota of nationalization. I think, and I need to be careful because I have a professor on my left, so I'll be very careful in what I'm going to say. But don't take this personally. But I do believe that it all starts with education, and our educational system in some way is a little obsolete. And the reality is, it was created many, many, many decades ago to face a workforce in the world that doesn't exist anymore. And that's the reality. So while education is obviously very important here, so it doesn't start in the recruitment agencies or in the HR departments, it starts way before in the education sector, and then moves across the time with actually having people being able to apply to jobs and be able to start not as the director of procurement, not as the head of supply chain, not as the head of demand planner, but starting in a position of entry level and actually understanding the business that is being developed. And I don't think anyone will take it wrong by hearing this part, which is we don't all start as CEOs or CEOs or heads of procurement or managers. We start learning the business, learning the trades, and then moving up the ranks. And I think the nationalization program also needs to be able to focus on we're developing talent for the future, and that talent needs to learn from the beginning. Saudi is a different subject. We have offices in Saudi also, and we deal with Saudization on a regular basis. Oman is a different story. Qatar is a different story, but I would suggest to focus on the UAE as per now for this one. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So the question was, to the right person, as that's what you do, seeking talent. I'll now move to Saeed. Saeed, you told us before about the importance of sustainability and, all these events that you've been, keeping up to know what are the trends. From your perspective, Saeed, what advice would you give professionals who are seeking to, if you like, future-proof their careers in supply chain?
One word that comes to my mind, and I think it's really come to what Shahryar and the professors have said, is agility. Really, agility. What I mean by that is taking supply chain, a matter of fact, there's so many topics in supply chain. Bring to it also procurement, end-to-end. So if you have someone, as done you recruit, who's agile, meaning you're going to be able to make him climb the ladder into bracket. So he starts as an entry level. He knows what's warehousing. He knows what stocks management is. He knows how to manage KPIs in outbound, inbound, etc. So if someone is agile and you can move him and rotate him throughout different jobs, you're going to see this person growing in terms of expertise, in terms of understanding of the end-to-end supply chain, including the processes, systems, procurement, etc. So, and through that, you're going to create a growth for that person, and he will be able to adapt. So if tomorrow you want him into one area, he will be in this area. If tomorrow he asks you to grow, he will grow. So even for the nationalization, etc. So if that talent you get in at certain position, and you keep rotating him every 6 months, every 1 year, this person is going to be maybe the North Star for the future. So really, agility for me is one of the key skills. Now, if you bring into it other aspects of our actually of the sustainability, don't think that sustainability you can just improvise it. You really need to learn it and study it, really. So it means there's so much information online. United Nations have published so many articles and so many small videos, etc. You can learn from it. So we also need to encourage our employees. And even if you recruit someone who has nothing to do with sustainability, encourage them to take those trainings as well. So train our people and have people who are agile. Even if our job description says he needs to do A, B, C, and D, but I need to look at that person if he can do E and the rest, with a bit of training and with a bit of and support.
Absolutely love that. So
you're looking at me, I'm looking
yes.
at you.
Okay. How are we doing for time?
So discreet. Yeah, we are going to have to cut it a little bit short. So we'll go for a Q&A.
All right.
Or just one key question. Who's got the best question for the panel? And then it's going to be a lucky dip as to who gets to ask it. So has anybody not asked a question today?
Right.
Okay.
So, yes.
Well, you have, but you get to get another one. Okay, one quick question.
Okay, I'll do without the mic. So, I just wanted to share this with those two people who are recruiting. I look for certain skills when I recruit teams. I'd like to hear from you guys because you obviously interact with people in different other companies in the industry, sorry, at least in other regions. What are the key skills that you find people are looking for today when they are hiring or looking for supply chain professionals?
Can I paraphrase that by giving everybody an opportunity as to one skill? How about if we do that? Does that work? Everybody happy with that? That way you get the spread of everybody. Okay, I don't want to tread on your toes, Doctor, but we do need to go to the next session. So maybe we start at the end. One key skill that you think, and you want to know what people are looking for, yeah? You're a recruiter like me, so you get to look at the spread, but pick one that you think people are looking for.
Can I do one technical, one soft?
As long as you take 10 seconds on each, absolutely.
So data analysis, whatever tool you want to use, and secondly, communication.
Very good. Excellent. Well done. Alan?
I would suggest to add being adaptive, being resilient on top of agility as a skill is what it is needed for this Gen Z or the millennials when they are ready to be taking jobs on board. Being adaptive in the sense they should be able to align or sync with any divisions. From warehousing to logistics to maybe accounting, you should be having skills of all. Like you should be able to see the numbers, and you should be able to relate to the logistics and then to the warehousing. So you see there is a lot of products. So being adaptive in terms of aligning to different departments and different functions at the same time. Being resilient in a way to sync with the group of people and taking leadership.
So in layman's terms, that's adaptation. Jolly good. Okay.
Digital literacy, the capability of actually analyzing data and take actions associated with it.
A sense of initiatives. Take action. So when you see something, take the initiative to do the things. That will link to the adaptability. Adaptability, and also to the agility. So really taking someone who can take action, take initiatives.
Doctor, you want the final word?
Yeah, I'd love one actually. Yes, I think we don't know what these jobs will be, so we don't know what the skills, what skills we need. So I would say being comfortable with uncertainty. I mean, I think we've all heard of VUCA. So just being comfortable with that and sort of, again, going with agility, growth mindset, and all of that, because we don't know what these jobs will be. That's my final take on that.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Piero, acknowledgements, the awards. Ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to stand here, please. Please thank them. Awesome. Thanks so much. We're just going to hand out some tokens of appreciation. Here, Piero is going to charge into that. We're trying to make up our time because after a certain period of time, they won't serve us lunch. So there is a supply chain out here, don't worry, and the logistics to get there are in here. Okay, if everybody could come into the middle so we get in the frame for the photographers. Lucy, you'll get a photo as well. Everybody can join in. Maybe I can assist. Yep. And then here, Tiago. One for Tiago. Yep. Okay. Yeah, we'll get these all out next time. Okay, anybody else to go? Yep. Who's going to, one for Saeed? Saeed, yep. Tiago, you'll have to accept it from me. I'm not very famous, but okay, I think that's everybody's got one. Balan, you getting one? You got one for Balan? He's had plenty of awards in his time anyway, so. Okay, so everybody in? No, one more here for Balan. Very good. Okay, quick team photo. Okay, thanks everybody. Round of applause. Thanks panel. Thanks doctor. Very good. I mean, I'm sure we could sit here all day and there's lots to talk about. We've got a lot of talent here, but we've also got another panel to do and lunch. Is going to be empowering the workforce, striking the balance, leveraging AI and human ingenuity for ethical supply chain practices. All right, and the moderator is going to be John Adijara. John's going to come up and join us. Here he is. Hope I said that correctly. Not with a French accent, but so John is going to come up and join us. Welcome, merci. Come on up. Welcome. And I don't have here where you're from, John. Where are you from? Which company? From Inchcape, of course, one of the major sponsors. Thanks so much. I knew that. Just testing. Panelists, Jamil, come on up, brother. Jamil's going to join us. And each of the individuals here will introduce themselves as we start the 30-second introduction. Fatma is going to join us. Shukran, Fatma Bandawad, she's joining us, and Diksha is joining us as well. Purnachandran, did I get it right? Yes. Close, nice cigar, very good. Okay, and Dr. Shireen is there. Dr. Shireen Nassar. Okay, and if we could have just a quick introduction from each of these folks. Thanks, John. And they can do a 30-second introduction of themselves.
Sure, thanks so much.
Fantastic.
Sure.
Appreciate all the rapid, just-in-time logistics here, folks.
I think we start from Diksha.
All in good order.
Okay.
Of course. Check. So first and foremost, thank you, Eny, for giving me an opportunity to be a part of this amazing event today. Myself, Diksha Purnachandran. I've been in UAE for the last 12 years, pretty much always been in the supply chain and healthcare industry. I currently work as a supply chain project manager with the International SOS, and I take care of large-scale projects for government organizations. And in recent years, my focus has been digitalization and transformation, and I've led a lot of digital transformation projects for our company. And prior to this role, I was working as healthcare account manager with renowned logistics companies such as Hellman and Agility, where my role was to expand the healthcare business and also to take care of key customer needs. So yeah, that's a bit about myself.
Great, thank you.
So I have short introduction. So I'm Shireen Nassar. I'm associate professor in logistics and supply chain management. I'm the global director for logistics studies for Heriot University, which means I cover all our campuses in 3 locations. And also I'm leading the Master of Logistics and Supply Chain Management here in Dubai. I'm glad our program is really growing and shows an interest in this industry. And I think here we are lucky in this region, and the external engagement with the industry and professional bodies really had huge impact on our success in delivering the program. And I think some comments were made about educational institutions. I think we are responding as well, and we are in the process of transforming our programs, bringing you with us to help us to shape this future. So this is about me. Thank you.
Thank you, Shireen.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. Jamil, the tech guy. Not in supply chain, but I think supply chain is touching everybody's life. So we provide tech, basically supply chain. I'm the loser in the room, so never had a job in my life. Yeah, so I just, been doing like startups and stuff like that since I was like 14. And I'm right now in my 4th unicorn. So my mom still thinks I should get a job. So I might come to you, man. Okay.
Hi, everyone. My name is Fatima Ait Bandawad, and I'm heading the DHL Global Humanitarian Logistics. So I have been in the humanitarian logistics supply chain for over 20 years, 21 years now. And this is not just a job for me. It's a mission and really passion to make a difference in this world. So, and we try to do our best really to be able to improve people's lives in really bridging the challenges in delivering humanitarian logistic and necessary needed support, whether it is in disaster or development projects. So we can really be able, first of all, to achieve the SDG 2030, but at the same time trying as well within the current world situation to really make a difference. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, everyone. That was great. My name is John. I represent Inchcape Shipping Services. I look after talent acquisition for the Middle East and Africa. So thanks so much, everyone, for being part of this program. Of course, what we are looking at, we just look at it as a supply chain issues, but it's cut across every industry. So it doesn't matter which industry you belong to. It's important for us to strive to strike a balance between artificial intelligence and our people. So please take note of this. So I read of recent a particular quote that says artificial intelligence is no match for natural stupidity. Jamil, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I mean, but yeah, they say that don't underestimate the stupidity of the general public, and everybody thinks that, like, you know, large language model is like the AI uprising, and you know somebody's gonna activate. I don't know if you know what's this, but Terminator, you know, the yeah. So I'm not gonna go with the references, but it's BS. Don't believe it. Okay, it's not happening. AI is just a statistical model that can LLM. I'm sorry, is a statistical model. It's not even proper artificial intelligence.
Right.
It actually is big data, and stuff you can do in Excel, by the way. So you can actually make like a formula that makes up words on Excel. So it's not super wow.
Thank you. Dr. Shri, do you have different opinion?
I believe this is a tool, right?
Correct.
And the tool always needs to to be monitored, and it's informed by human at the end of the day. Like data, this data collected from people from other sources. So it's a whole process. It's a system that you need to manage. Then this is only one part of it. It's just when we have the proper framework, how this should be implemented, we can optimize the performance of the whole system. And this, as the previous panel mentioned about soft part and hard part of it. So focusing mainly on hard part is not really, will not achieve what we want to achieve. And actually, this is why we talk about now Industry 5.0, because Industry 4.0 struggle to achieve when we focus mainly on digitalization, focusing on technologies. Now we need to bring back the human element, the human touch, to maximize the benefits of what we do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks so much for that. So I will start with Diksha. I want to ask you this. How can organizations strike the balance, the right balance, let me put it that way, the right balance between leveraging AI technologies and maintaining ethical supply chain process?
Sure. So just to give you an example, 2 years ago, I led and implemented an end-to-end supply chain visibility platform. Now, for this platform, we collaborated with several stakeholders like suppliers, freight forwarders, clients, many of them. And all that we needed is a real-time visibility of what's really happening in our supply chain orders. This is what we wanted. Now, the first thing that we took into consideration while developing or deploying any AI technology is that it should always stick to the ethical guidelines. Now, what do you mean by that? Is that you should always make sure that the AI algorithms and the AI models that we are using does not contribute to any discriminatory practices, any human right violation, or any environmental harm. So this is the most important thing, right? Now, we know whenever any AI-powered solution, it uses large amount of data, yeah? So what's the second most important thing is the data privacy and security. we have to ensure that the data is always protected, especially the sensitive data, and also we do not provide any unauthorized access. Now, as an organization, whenever you're trying to take in any new AI solution, what you should always bear in mind is that this AI solution should always only enhance the transparency and the traceability and not the other way around. Okay, we should go and choose solutions like that. Now, this is important. Then, what also is very, very crucial is stakeholder engagement. Now, whenever you're implementing anything into your supply chain, we should ensure that we're talking to clients, we're talking to employees, we're talking to local communities, freight forwarders, whoever you're working with, and we ask them the question, what do you think is your ethical supply chain practices? We'll get several input from them, right? And every input is important because we could miss out something or the other. So it is key that we take everyone's feedback whenever you're implementing something into supply chain. Now, the other most important thing is whenever you're bringing in AI, we should always do a thorough risk assessment and make sure there is nothing unethical in what we do, right? And we should always have a mitigation plan in place in case we come up with any negative consequences in future. Yeah, this is very, very crucial. Now, as an organization, let's say now we've done all these steps to take care of within our organization. But is that enough? Obviously not, right? Whoever we are collaborating with, like suppliers or freight forwarders or clients, whoever we are working with, we have to ensure that the partners that we are working with are also following ethical guidelines. So it's not just us, but it should also be the partners. So that's crucial. Now, let's say we've set up all the, an AI solution, you've done a platform, you've implemented something. Now, does it stop there? Obviously not. What's very, very crucial is employee training. Now, we have to ensure the employees get the right training on supply chain management as also and on AI. And we have to emphasize how important it is to follow ethical practices. Now, this is very crucial. Now, so we've made sure the organization is fine. We've made sure our partners are fine. We've made sure employees are trained. Now, do we stop there? Obviously not. There has to be continuous monitoring and auditing. So at regular intervals, we have to make sure that we evaluate the fairness of the algorithms and the fairness of the AI model to ensure that we are always protected, right? So this is very crucial. Now, apart from this, obviously, what's important is there's regulatory compliance with whatever we are using. And last but not the least, we have to integrate sustainability into supply chain practices. I think many people here already spoke about supply chain, but that's very crucial. And once you've integrated sustainability into supply chain operations, then we use AI tools, to optimize our resources, to minimize the waste, and also to minimize any environmental impact that could happen due to our procurement and distribution processes. So yeah, in my opinion, I think if we are following all these strategies, we would be able to strike the right balance between leveraging the benefits of AI technology and upholding ethical standard in our supply chain practices.
Fantastic.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much for that, Diksha. Okay, the keynote from there, you talk about ethical considerations, which is very important in making a choice. So I'll go to Dr. now, Dr. Shren. Please, I want to ask you, what ethical considerations should be taken into account when implementing AI in supply chain?
So I'm happy now as an academic input because Diksha actually presented the case.
Absolutely.
She gave us the examples of everything of a good practice in terms of implementation. So if I put this in kind of more structured concepts, so I would say ethical practice should be part of the DNA of the organization. It's not like when we implement the AI will now be ethical. So it's just we should have proper ethical framework that we are following. When it comes to AI, AI and metaverse technologies, obviously there are other considerations that we should consider here and integrate in our ethical framework. So first, ensuring that we have the transparency. So making sure that this AI algorithm, we understand how this data operates and how decisions are made. And every stakeholder in supply chain, including customers, including employees, suppliers, they need to understand how AI influences these decisions, especially when it comes to critical decisions like inventory management, like demand forecasting, like logistics decisions. So another element which Deksha highlighted about privacy, obviously AI systems deal with huge or large data set, which includes commercial and personal data. So you need to make sure we comply with the regulations and data protection rules in this aspect. And we need to make sure there are also strict measures to ensure this is happening. So another element that ethical considers that we should consider about data governance, like you should be clear about the guidelines, how to collect data, how to store data, and how to use the data. So this very important aspect that, ensures the accuracy. So when you say that you rely on AI to make decisions, this means this information is accurate and trusted that you are using. This important elements. I would also say other aspects of consideration when it comes to dealing with data. Let me just, I took some notes here. I don't want to forget what I want to say. Yeah. Actually, when it comes to suppliers and dealing with vendors, also maybe there is implication, and I think Deksha already mentioned about this. So their engagement with you is important, and there are some aspects like because when AI make decisions might impact the power dynamics and how the relationship is managed, make sure this is fair process or in terms of negotiations and things like this. Also, I think for me, it's very important aspects is elements of accountability. Yes, we use AI to help us making decisions. However, the AI cannot take the responsibility of the decision, right? Absolutely. So this means we need to have clear understanding and defining responsibilities about the outcome of using these AI applications. And this mechanism will help when something goes wrong, we know actually how to deal with it and how to mitigate this in the future. Elements of also something to consider about bias and fairness, how we ensure these decisions are fair, because the input of the data might impact some groups. So we need to make sure, like, for example, employees or customers or suppliers, might end with dealing with unfair treatment for some groups. So which something we should avoid, and this can happen only through regular audit and checking these types of data or the algorithm used in AI. I think another element which for me is important as well, we talked about workforce and job displacement, right? So nothing happens in business as a surprise unless we don't plan, right? So if we plan that we are going to use AI, I think we need to also address strategies, how we will deal with the job displacement aspect. Okay, so should be plans for those who will be impacted by this, okay, in terms of reskilling, upskilling, so proper programs should be there for the workforce. I think another element about the explainability, because also we need to understand how these decisions are made. It's not just, okay, this is the outcome we got from the AI application and just will follow this. We go understanding how this happened will also enhance the trust among the stakeholders in the supply chain. So by understanding how these decisions are made. I think all of these aspects should be considered and should be proper ethical framework to govern all these practices.
Fantastic. Yeah. Thanks so much for that. One important note that I took from that side is that, of course, ethics has to be the DNA of every organization. That's very important. But I want to ask you a kind of follow-up question now. You said when you are bringing in AI, you should consider those who will be impacted by the bringing in. Are you saying that, okay, bringing in AI could cause some people to lose their jobs?
It happens. This is a fact. Like bringing new technology has an impact, right? But this should be part of the strategy when we implement technology in business. And this is why we say that increased involvement in the decision as well is important. When you make this kind of strategic decision, this will enhance even the acceptance of the decision and eliminate the resistance. So they understand they still they can be value from these people, but this is again is part of the culture of the organization. You know, some organizations just easy get rid of them. We don't need them anymore. So which is what we saw during COVID, right? We need to save costs. So the first element and this was the wrong decision, definitely. And this proved, because I would say the most valuable asset in any organization, their people.
Correct.
And when they lose their people, they lose a lot. Yes, we have a tool to use now, but the whole knowledge they build about the organization, really, it takes years for new people to understand how things work in an organization. So I think it's just the right balance, as we talked before, you know, human touch and AI. I don't think tools can replace human at any point.
That's where I'm going.
Unless, you know, we talk about routine jobs, you know, I mean, you can just rely on this. But again, everything you need, as you actually mentioned, monitoring, you know, checking. Nothing can be like 100% machine without human touch.
Perfect. Perfect. Thanks so much for that. So Jamil, I will go to Jamil now. Even though you said you've never worked before, and this question is coming to you. So how can we cultivate a future-ready workforce amidst the rise of artificial intelligence technologies in supply chain? I said, how can we cultivate a future-ready, workforce in the midst of course, uprising AI technologies?
So I really hope that AI will take all the job it can. I really do. You know why? Because we wouldn't go there and look to replace human jobs with software if we didn't have to, okay? I believe that the whole employment and education framework has a lot of entitlement to it. I believe it's bad. I do. I believe that the school education, I mean, especially like the early years, is really bad. It actually is trying to box our brains, and it's too outdated. And I struggle. I have 2 kids, and I really struggle with this. And the school struggle with them because I've enabled them to become like the worst kids in school, basically. And yeah, but when it comes to how to enable the new generation, you can't get new results by doing the same old thing. It's as simple as that. If you want a generation that's like agile and, you know, roll with the punches and get replaced by AI when the job is really bad, because I really hope I could be replaced by AI, because if I could be, then I don't deserve to actually stay here. It's as simple as that. And in what we do, we have replaced actual people, full jobs, experts. And the element of tacit knowledge, the accumulation of knowledge, is now possible with neural networks. AI is not what you should be worried about. Neural networks and cognition is what you should be worried about. And it is replacing experts. It is. But does it replace decisioning? Yes. In any logical operation that doesn't require innovation, it could. If discovery is logical, like in organic chemistry, it's possible. But if discovery is about a eureka moment, it can't. So these are the limitations. It can't really go and, you know, unless you have a defined range and a data set or a limitation or a constraint of some sort, it can innovate within that. It can't just go and do wild stuff. Otherwise, it's like asking ChatGPT to create a picture for you. You know, it's gonna probably look like me. You know, it's not gonna, it's not gonna be anything like you can use really. So the idea here is, if you want to
future-proof the future generations, don't really create a monster out of AI. Embrace it. There's a huge amount of corruption today in supply chain, and I say corruption. When people do not embrace technologies that they know will help their organizations in fear for their jobs, it actually is corruption. And that comes from the lack of psychological safety and a lot of self-confidence issues, of course, as well, in my opinion. But it happens especially in big enterprises. If you go back in history, when the calculators came out, mathematics teachers went out on the streets on strikes. And actually, you can Google this. They were striking against calculators. There were like protests, you know, and riots. And then later on, people who sold horse food, basically, protested cars, saying that the internal combustion engine is here to destroy agriculture. Although now engines are taking the production really far away and increased your market coverage, right? And now you can. So things are not as seemingly what they are when we see them. I believe with AI we can capture a huge amount of market. You might actually even end up needing more people with better jobs rather than. I mean, that's a possibility that we could entertain and just think of a complete paradigm shift.
Thanks so much for that. One important thing that I took away from there is that, of course, people are afraid of bringing in AI for the fear of losing their job. And of course, AI is created even to assist people and not to take away their job. That's smart. Thanks so much. Okay, now I'll go to Fatima. Fatima, I know for sure that you are from a humanitarian organization, so I would like to tailor my question towards that. Okay, what common challenges do humanitarian organizations face in order to implement an AI that could, of course, function to make the job easier?
Okay. I like data, so I'll give you some references to what I'm going to discuss about. From the year 2000 till 2019, there was 700 natural disasters. And I'm not talking about man-made disasters. Cost the life of over 1 million people and displaced or impacted 4 billion people today. And today we have over 100 million displaced people. So this could be either refugees or internally displaced people. So with that, you could see in terms of really how the impact of the disasters in the world and the humanitarian organization and the community has to face a lot in such a short time, but at the same time need to as we are all busy as well in our work in supply chain or other sectors, so you can imagine how humanitarian workers are as busy. So AI is, I would say, is critical in terms of humanitarian disaster response. So we're focusing just on the disaster because there is another big part of what the humanitarian community is doing in terms of development. But in terms of disaster, I mean, AI can really help in terms of preparedness. So a big part of the work that the organization need to do is preparedness. We work with data that is globally, you could imagine how much is big data to collect globally. So it's very critical for the humanitarian organization to be able to work on predictive analysis. So AI can work on that in terms of being able to predict any potential impact of any disaster on the population and being able to deploy the necessary resources to respond in natural disasters. But as well, it's very important to use the data and the previous data to be able to know as well how best they can pre-position relief goods that are needed to respond on an urgent basis whenever there is a disaster strike. It is Preparedness as well focuses as well on early warning areas. It's very important as well to be able to have or analyze the data, whether it is related to satellite imagery, weather pattern, to be able to send early warnings to the population and be able to work on evacuation. It is critical, I mean, in terms of the supply chain. It is very important for the organizations mentioned in terms of preparedness and being able to have stockpiles where relief goods are available worldwide. And the organizations, the humanitarian organization, UN agencies, NGOs have learned the hard way through that, because with no right preposition, and of course that impacts the urgency response, and of course the extra cost in terms of the logistical movement of relief goods is well very important for organization to know what is available everywhere in the world in multiple stockpiles, and what each organization is having in terms of goods, in order to be able to work in coordination. So such a data is very critical. One of the projects that been started working, but it's still on a local basis, it's not on a global, and that we really hope to see in global is really to have clear data in terms of what's available and how many families could be supported from each region. And this will create a really excellent coordination in terms of being able to respond on the closest location. And another challenge is actually, and that, I mean, unfortunately, and I just really want to give you this, that the humanitarian organization are not there yet with the AI utilization. And it is critical in terms of managing such a big data in order to save lives. So it's something available today. We do understand that the humanitarian organization are relying a lot on cost saving, but I think it's very critical in them to be able as well to think about a larger picture than just the cost saving. It's about saving of life and really a lot of coordination. So it is one of the really thing we need to see as well is that with this coordination creates as well management of stock. I work in the humanitarian network, and I see a lot of loss of products due to the expiry, and they just go into the destruction instead of really having possibilities to manage these stocks and able to utilize them or actually loan them to another organization that might need it instead of going through another procurement of the same items that are needed in another location. Working on a humanitarian or preparedness in terms of disaster is as well using satellite imaging and being able to analyze those to know exactly the areas that is impacted in disaster, and being able to work in terms of managing the response. But as well, it's very important to know the accessibility to these people that are impacted, the routes, the number of population impacted. When we talk as well, and we come to the ethical part as well, which is very critical. So organizations work with a lot of personal data. And we're talking about refugees, and we're talking about people impacted. So all the refugees, and you see a lot of camp work on something called CBD, cash-based donations. So the data of all these population that are in refugee camps are available. This is currently, and unfortunately, it is managed on the most primitive systems that need to be really looked at, really managed in a better way. And it's very critical that to have that information, because don't forget that the refugees sometimes keep moving either back or another location, and that data is very critical as well in terms of them to be able to plan their cash-based donation, or as well in terms of relief in-kind donation. So it is important. I know that there is the element of data privacy for the humanitarian organization, and it's very, very important if we talk about conflict zones, because of course, we don't want any BS, and we have to talk about, of course, when we're talking about conflict zone, whether it is civil war or international war, is very important as well that we avoid such BS when it comes to I would say, ethnicities and the displaced people coming to another country. That's very, very critical. Such a data should be very, very confidential in a way that has to be protected, and the risk that will be sometimes, and this has happened as well, information being not protected, and the other party would get to it, and that cause an additional, losses of life. One of the things which is very important for the organization we work as well in either natural disaster or man-made disaster is really the safety. Safety is of the root. So when we have this data analysis and when we talk about, hopefully soon, that there will be utilization of the AI, and such a security information should be very much protected. And that to protect, of course, the safety of the cargo, safety of the relief workers who are moving in center routes. We work today still manually with the confidential information that this is the route you need to take because this is a safer route. And at certain times, we have as well to really possibly have to use a security team to ensure the safety of the equipment. So this is critical as well in terms of such information that has to remain confidential, to support. In terms of what, and I want to share with you this because the organizations.
One moment.
What organizations so far? I mean, there are some organizations who started using AI, and it's mainly on the sending drones to take images of disaster areas in terms of the impact, and then they be able to use and analyze that data in minutes, which would have taken them weeks to be able to really use the necessary resources and know exactly the locations and the people that is impacted. And one of the organization units here that focuses on refugees is using chatbot to help refugees with the right information in terms of safe camps where they need to go, but at the same time to be able to answer queries and provide the safe data for them to reach the refugee camps.
Thank you, Fatima, for that details.
John, and that is our time up. So sorry, we get time for one question, and then the question is going to be a 10-second answer from each of our panelists. How about that?
Perfect.
All right? If we've got one question, we covered a lot of ground there. How long is a piece of string? Enormous amount of content, right? So, regular questionnaire, all right? The one question. Anybody else? Got a bid going here? Going.
Gone.
Sold to you. It's a quick it's a 10-second question. Yep.
Denied food security help to a large section of population, in fact, coming to about
Yep.
700,000, because the AI made a mistake.
Right.
Because of similar name.
Good.
And that person, similar name, had, for example, a car.
Right. What's the question?
The question is how we prevent AI from making these kind of mistakes, which could have the kind of an impact of denial of health.
So the question is, which garners a 10-second answer from each of them.
Let's start from Diksha. Can I take it from there?
So thank you for the question. So in my opinion, when I talked about, the question that he asked me, the main thing which I emphasized is risk assessment, right? So if that company, whoever was doing that AI algorithm, if they had done a proper risk assessment by taking every stakeholder's perspective and input, we could have avoided that, right? So in my opinion, I think that getting input from all the stakeholders is important, and making a thorough risk assessment so that you don't face consequences like that in future, it's the key. Thank you.
Yeah, Doctor?
Thank you.
Yeah. So I think in life in general rule, we learn from mistakes, right? And this is same situation. So when mistakes happen, we learn about how to mitigate this in the future. And this is back to elements of data governance, how we collect the data, how to store the data, technical elements of it, but also require continuous monitoring for continuous improvement.
Very good. Excellent. Short and sharp.
The AI model did not make a mistake. The human who configured it made a mistake.
Thank you. I like that.
I just
Can you
one
imagine
sen-
dealing with his kids at school?
one sentence I would say, and it's very important in humanitarian. AI is to help make decisions and not to take the decisions.
Absolutely.
Bingo. Less than 10 seconds. Very good. John,
That's
your,
just
your answer?
That's just it. I want to say that, of course, there's need for human element in AI as well, because of course AI cannot take decisions. Can only work on automation. Like I told you, Jamil, I believe AI can only work on the kind of automation. When it comes to taking decision, human element is actually required, and that's all.
Round of applause, everybody. Kira, Nizreen, you're going to hand out the tokens of appreciation, please.
Okay, thank you so much. I would like, as a first speech, I would like to thank Piero and Nisreen for this amazing event today. So I'm asking you guys, please, can you give them like a round of applause? And just a quick question to you guys. Do you know me? Please raise your hand.
Yes.
Okay, you will make my life hard to say it. But anyway, for people who don't know me, so my name is Ahmed Khaled, and I'm the co-founder of Expose Me. It's a company where we help leaders like you build their personal brand and influence and attract the best opportunities around the world. So, little bit about myself. I'm a podcaster. I run a podcast called Unleash with Ahmed Khaled, where I interview CEOs, entrepreneurs, and business owners to speak mainly and unleash their greatness inside my podcast and show the struggles, because at the end of the day, we are human beings. So my mission here is to unleash this untold story and inspire people about it. Little bit also about myself. I was recognized from the top 30 rising voices on LinkedIn like 5 years back because of the content that I'm always deploying. But here's the truth. Yes, I'm serial entrepreneur, but before being an entrepreneur, I was one of you guys. I used to work for one of the biggest multinational companies called Unilever, if you know this company, guys. I used to work like in a global senior role, but there is something happened to me 5 years back where I start to search for a meaning in life. And I used to know what is the meaning of purpose in life, why we're here. And this question was killing me. I don't know. I was living in my comfortable life. I had a decent salary. I work in a very big position. I had a great team, but I had lack of meaning. And this was the discovery where I start to understand why I'm here. What is the reason for me being here? I want to leave an impact. But here is the shocking truth. I want to inspire people. I want to help people. But I realized that I cannot help people without just helping myself. I cannot inspire them if they don't see this change on me. And this was the discovery zone for me. I started to work on myself. I'm an introvert, by the way. I used to be an introvert. And I had a big challenge in my communication skills. This is what my manager used to tell me, that when I speak to people, I always make conflict. I cannot tell a story. I cannot inspire. I cannot. And this was just a wake-up call for me to start my discovery and journey of influence, inspiration, and self-discovery. And once I started this, I started work on myself. I started to work on my communication skills. I started to work on my self-discovery. And I asked myself, how can I help people after helping myself? And the only thing that I had at this time, it's my power, which is supply chain. I am with you guys, all supply chain here. And I start to work on my ability. I start to take coaching. I start to take courses. I start to read. I start to build some certain skills on that point to improve my communication skills. Because at the end of the day, what I want to inspire people. I want to help them. I want to liberate them. And after time, I wanted to leave a bigger impact than just content creation or just posting on LinkedIn and building community. I thought, how can I help people with my whole experience that I have it, and at the same time also monetize or get some money from the other side. It was a scary feeling. If you are working in a corporate, you will understand this. You cannot just imagine that at the end of the month, each month, you have a certain salary. To crash this limiting belief that you have certain skills or have certain values, you can monetize it from it, it's hard. Literally, it's hard. But what happened with me, I took a decision that I want to create some course within my power, which was supply chain, because this is the only thing that I know, supply chain. I start to create course. I start to build the persona who are those people that I can help them, supply chain managers, supply chain leaders. And I started to create this course based on my ability and based on my experience, how to solve their problems. And it was a scary feeling when you just build this course and upload it on my website and just wait for people to buy. It's hard. But here is what happened to me. After 3 months, organically from LinkedIn, building my personal brand, I created like 6 figures in 3 months from my course, organically, without anything, without any ads. It was amazing feeling once you understand from a certain skills, from a certain power that you can monetize. But I was excited for a moment, but still I had lack of fulfillment. I feel there is something missed. Yes, I start to inspire people, I start to leave an impact, but still there is something that is missed here. And here it was my second journey of discovery, where I start to understand 2 things. There is a difference between our passion and there is a difference between our power. And most people in life, and I was one of them, that we're living in our power. The only thing that we know, the experience that we have. But we don't have a chance on ourselves to discover what is our passion. How can we live very fulfilled with that? And at that time, my power was supply chain, but my passion was building a personal branding, unleashing my values, showing this to people, inspiring them. But my power, which was supply chain, I had it like 15 years. I took a decision that I want to move to the next level and pursue my passion. And a while back, I took a decision to leave all of my comfort zone, move from a decent salary, as we said. As Jamil said here, he said that we are maybe loser, entrepreneurs are losers, but I'm saying that we are a winning losers. I took a decision just to jump out of the cliff from my comfort zone, from amazing company, from amazing position, and pursue my entrepreneurship. And today, what I'm doing, I'm helping people, helping leaders to build their personal brands on LinkedIn and inspire people and show their values to others and attract the best opportunities. And I'm giving this awareness to whole people. The only thing that I want to leave it with you guys, maybe I can help it based on my experience and lessons. There is something called, this is my philosophy, 3 circles of life. And I'll tell you what happened to me. And maybe you can reflect on it and you can use it. Regardless of the time right now, but think about it. The first circle that we have, it's the circle of power. What is the circle of power? It's mostly the things that you're doing, years of experience. Your skills, your beliefs, your values. This is the circle of power. And most people in life, they are having this circle of power by chance, not by choice. If we reflect, I reflect also on myself. When I joined supply chain, when I asked myself, I joined supply chain because of the company. When I was in Egypt, I joined it because of the company, the name of the company. I want to join a multinational company. But if you asked me if, at this time, if I joined supply chain or marketing or sales or whatever, I didn't care. I was caring about the company name.
So just what I want you to reflect, when you have this circle of power, ask yourself, are you here by chance or by choice? The second circle, which is the circle of purpose. And mainly I keep saying that purpose, it's, you have some reason, you have some why in life. And this why is fueling your life. And if you just translate this why into serving others, then this is your purpose. The third circle, it's the passion. And a lot of people, when I ask people about what is your passion, they don't know. But let me tell you what is your passion. How can you identify it? I cannot tell you what's your passion. The answer is inside you. I cannot help you with this, but I can tell you some certain questions that you can ask yourself to find your passion. What's your passion? It's that thing that when you're doing it, you don't feel the passage of time. It could be something else rather than your power, totally. Something that you enjoy. Something that when you entered it, you don't feel the time at all. This is your gift. This is your greatness inside it. And this is what will liberate you. Most people in life are living in this area. But my question to you is that, are you living here by choice or by chance? And the most influential people in life, they're living in this zone. When their power and their passion and their purpose are intersected. I'm asking you to take time, reflect about your passion, reflect about your purpose in life, reflect about what do you want in life. Don't live in this circle of power all of your life, because sooner or later life will teach you that you are living in your power. Think, it will take time, it will take effort, but I guarantee you it's worth it. Last thing that I keep saying, that we are like a bird. Definitely we're like a bird. And a bird that is caged inside a golden cage. And most people in life, they're looking for the key to liberate themselves outside of this golden cage. But what I can guarantee you, that this key is inside. It's inside your mind. It's inside your mindset. And once you just look down, you'll find this key. And once you open the door of the cage, I guarantee you will find yourself soaring high. Totally. And you'll see a lot of opportunities. But what stops you right now is the limitation that you put it in your mind. This is the only thing. Last but not least, one question that I want to ask you. And please ponder on this, reflect on it. Who are you? Who are you really? Who are you behind your shields of position? Who are you behind the shield of a title? Who are you behind the name of the company? Once you discover this answer, I guarantee you that your life will change. Thank you.
Shukran, Ahmed. Quick question. Got to be a question out there. That was the most.
I hope that it's not bored, guys.
Told you that we're keeping the best to last. No, I'm just joking. Yeah, any questions about personal branding? About, let's see, a show of hands here.
Feel free, guys.
Who of us believes that we are optimizing our own personal branding in our own way, not in a surreptitious way or for any other reason other than presenting ourselves to the world? Anybody here believe that they're optimizing or close to optimizing their personal brand to the rest of the world? Even in your own circle? Big pile of potential here, brother. But I mean, I've got a question for you, because you know you've tortured me, you've had me interrogated me in your podcast, and drilled me down straight away. And I must give you credit, because whilst we've got our own podcast channel, Logistics Executive TV, and I like to drill down on people, I'd been interviewed a few times, but the insightfulness that you had taken up and the research you'd done, obviously, as you're talking about today, you've done your homework, you've done the study. And I know the amount of work you've done on all the technical abilities around your own channel, right, which is brilliant. You must really follow him and see some of his interviews. They're really insightful. But my question to you is what is the best way people can analyze it and understand about this, who are you, to come to terms with how they should position themselves, where they should, and I'm not talking about for any other reasons other than what's inside of that each individual person. What is the first thing they should do to analyze about how they should position themselves? Good, bad, or ugly?
Yeah, that's a great thing. So I keep just simple things. So a lot of people are asking, how can I build my personal brand? And I believe there are 4 factors that influence and shape your personal brand. Number 1, the values. So what are the values that you're standing for? So what is your core beliefs? A lot of people, they're having some beliefs that they raised with because of their parents' childhood, the society that they are living with. So there are some seeds of our core beliefs, it's seeded with us. But I'm asking you to just reshuffle those beliefs, reshuffle those values. What are you standing for right now? So the first thing is values.
Which might be different from what we stood
Definitely,
for
definitely,
last year.
definitely. I can change anything. People are asking me that, can I have a personal brand today and I change it tomorrow? Yes, could be. What's the? I'm giving you my example. I was on a supply chain, but now I'm working in personal branding, something that I'm passionate about it, and I can convey this message. So number 1 is value. Number 2, it's your experience and your skills. So this is something also is influencing your personal brand. So when I was in supply chain, so all my talks was about supply chain. So I'm creating some values in that, and I'm saying to people that this is my experience and this is my skills. So this is the second one. The third one, it's about positioning. So a lot of people, I keep saying that, they undervalue the values that they have. They underestimate the power that they have. So their position is very low. And on the other side, you see a lot of people, they have like maybe 50% from their values, 50% from their skills, 50% even with their experience, but they know how to position themselves.
Yep.
And they're very clear about what they want.
Yep.
Fourth thing, and this is the last one that to influence your personal brand, is a channel of communication. A channel of communication here that if I want to convey a message to people, I need to have a channel of communication. Could be offline or could be online. Offline, I go and I speak here right now.
Or it might be on the,
Yes,
dinner, it
I
might be on
would
the dinner table to the kids.
100%. This is like a channel of communication. Another channel of communication which is very influential when you're online. And the best channel for communication, I keep saying that, it's LinkedIn. You can position yourself the way you deserve, but you have to influence this. So those are the 4 factors, and you can replace whatever personal brand, but you have to abide for those 4 factors.
Perfect. Thanks so much
Thank
for
you.
the answer.
Yeah, what? Just when you're ready, just say stop. I don't know if this person, who is this? Bassam. He left? He left? Okay, we do it again. Don't tell me it's personal. Ahmed Khalid. Aywa. Brava. What's Ahmed getting? What's Ahmed getting?
Thank you. So, voilà. Now we found a good reason, you know, and Rally here will motivate you even more. So you have a special discount on a trip to Morocco. And it will be organized by Rally. Please go ahead.
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Rally Jorio. I am the director of AfriTrip Morocco. How many of you have been to Morocco before? Okay, only the Moroccans. Okay, so we have to change this. I want to tell you 3 things about Morocco and give you 3 opportunities. 1, Morocco right now is one of the most beautiful countries, rich in culture, history, and whatever you want, you can find this in Morocco. Morocco now has built itself in becoming a destination great for everyone. Families, couples, honeymooners, whatever you call it, we can make it happen. World Cup is coming. Morocco now is one of the most accessible countries. Morocco just implemented e-visas that makes it very easy to get your visa and come to Morocco in less than 3 days. And I have 3 opportunities. One, we have a group trip to Morocco this April if anyone would like to join. 2, we can book your private trip to Morocco whenever you want at any budget you want. And 3, since there are many HR professionals, bring your team, get them have a retreat in Morocco, and they will love you. They will stay with you forever.
I spoke with him already before we just pitched this, and I told him that I want to go with Morocco. See, it's from heart to heart, guys. Well, from heart to heart. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
Milo.
It's meant to be.
We need to pick.
We need. This is meant to be, inshallah. You're going to Morocco this year.
If it's for free, it will be better.
Yeah. Inshallah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
ولو حبيبي تستاهل والله.
So we do another one. Nesrin, tell me when to stop.
Oh yeah, wait.
Wait. He left.
He left?
I don't know. Let me see. What is this? Shaju? No? Oh la la, no. Okay, just tell me when to stop. We don't have a lot here. Aywa, don't tell me it's John. I told you to leave. Oh la la. What's John getting?
So, John, we want to offer you. So the second prize is a dinner in Raffles.
For 2.
For 2. Yeah.
Thanks
so you
to
can
Raffles.
invite Piero.
Thank you, Yasmin, for this. One more. Serge, I pray this is for you. Okay. And then you have no excuse. Abhijit, I think. Okay. Serge did not. Serge, did you scan the barcode? Oh la la, Serge did not do that. He escaped. Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, stop.
He left. Oh la la. This will be difficult, huh?
1, 2, 3, stop. Abu Fawaz. Abu Fawaz Yusuf. No? No? Okay. Again.
Everyone.
1, 2, 3, stop.
Oh, everyone is left.
Delphine left.
I'll start from below.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait. Okay.
Stop.
No. Again. No. Because I'm going to the same ones. Again.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, stop.
Again. Faster. Oh, la, la.
1, 2, 3, stop.
Okay. I just delete the yellow lines directly. Okay, Kalas. One.
Okay. 1.
Wait. Wait. Oh, yeah. You're taking too much time. Okay. Again? No? If Shad is not here, we give it. Again?
Okay, one more time.
One more time. And then, wait. Don't do anything yet. No?
So you can remember every day. Thank you for being with us today.
Why does it keep going here? Thank you.